I didn't watch this fully. I watched it a little bit, and then I decided, oh, you know what? I'm gonna yap to this, and I'm gonna be insane yapper.
Okay.
Should you play?
Competitive DBD.
You serious?
With you. I originally wrote this video months ago just to make fun of Comp DBD, but after taking a dive down the rabbit hole, I have to admit that there are a lot of misconceptions that it gets unfairly criticized for. Don't worry, there's still plenty to make fun of.
Bro. How does this have to do with Comp DBD? This is one player in the scene.
Which we will
GMing somebody is a joke, bro.
Let's at least
Like, how is this?
the
How,
haters say.
bro.
Don't worry, there's still plenty to make fun
Bro,
of.
when I saw this shit, I died. Because you guys want to know something about this exact clip right here? Like, this exact screenshot?
Don't worry.
This was originally not meant to leave, like, PTR. Like, this was first set in, like, the PTR team chat. This was not meant to leave PTR team chat. And I think it was... Like, I sent it to one person. I was like, don't show anyone. And that person definitely showed everyone. So, yeah, that's the origin of this even getting leaked to begin with.
Eternal and all the other teams consist of pre-dropping. Gen rushing. My bad. Let me open some chests, bro. All the teams pre-dropping. You don't even pre-drop in comp. That's how you lose now. Pre-dropping was like a 2020 mech, like 2019 mechanic, because the killer couldn't gain bloodlust for like 30 seconds or something. It like took forever. You only pre-drop for some killers now in some scenarios. Pre-dropping is not like a comp tactic anymore.
Like any esports scene, CompDBD consists of teams of players playing custom games against each other in order to win.
You had an e-girl. What happened? I don't have time for one. I realize I don't want one, bro.
Tournament.
That shit ain't worth the time.
Simple enough,
Gotta
right?
focus on the grind,
but since
bro.
DBD is an asymmetrical 4v1 game with heavy RNG elements, the immediate
my quality
question
shit.
from most players upon learning about competitive DBD is, why the fuck would you do that? To which most comp players have a pretty simple answer. They like the game a lot.
Okay, I don't know. The randomness thing is a bit weird. I will not lie. Like, the majority of games have randomness. It's like, I don't know. It's pretty much just a built-in thing. I don't really understand that argument, to be perfectly honest.
And optimizing and learning every part of it, playing versus other people who really
True.
like DBD, is the next step for them after they grow tired of the busted mechanics, bad matchmaking, and terrible teammates in public lobbies. Things.
I don't even necessarily agree with this. I think some people just have a like more competitive drive than others, and some people are just always interested in what the best players do, and that's also true for me, by the way. So if I get really interested in a game, then I will always look for the best players and see what they do. And I've done this like since I started playing games. Like, this is how I like to enjoy my games.
Like, this is like, bro, this is just such a good quality video. Like, I have to respect it, you know? This is good.
I'm sure we've all experienced. So the most popular response to CompDBD, that is laughing at the idea of it, or saying that there's no money in it, or calling it a waste of time, or for some reason claiming it doesn't exist, makes about as much sense as making fun of any other.
Wait. Look at that guy's Twitter name. Hold on.
Or for some reason,
Bro, Comp DBD doesn't even exist. Skull emoji. Look, at delusional. His name is literally delusional, bro. Yeah, okay.
claiming it doesn't exist makes about as much sense as making fun of any other hobby. I play CompDBD because I like DBD is, in my opinion, a good enough
Turn
reason
the
to
volume?
not be
Yeah.
mocked relentlessly,
Sorry.
even if it is kind
It's
of
louder
funny,
for me
since
than for
most
you
DBD
guys.
gameplay is such a shit show, which leads to the next question people ask. How can you possibly make a 4v1 game competitive with how much RNG and busted crap there is in it?
Actually, pretty easily, to be honest.
And the answer is just as simple. You can't, but also add a lot of extra rules.
I mean, you can. By
Ban
adding these
perk lists
rules.
for every killer and survivor.
So the rules in Dead by Daylight for the comp scene have developed over years. The first tournaments have used blood points. That was back in the day, like in 2016, 2017. And this has slowly evolved out of the players. This is the biggest difference between the DBD comp scene and most comp scenes, or like most competitive tournaments that you know. More often than not, you will have like organizations or like the maybe even the game developer host tournaments and have big prize pools. The thing about comp is like the most of the tournaments are organized by the players themselves who organize tournaments. And that includes me. Like, I host tournaments. I will host some later today. We're gonna host a 1v1 tournament. And why? Because it's fun. That's it. But that's also the beauty of Dead by Daylight comp. It is a grassroots comp scene. I don't know that many of that kind The only other one that I know, Smash. I did not follow Smash that much, but it has a similar vibe to it than this one. Because, yeah, well, there's no regulations, there's no organizations, there's no professionalism. Like, this is just made from players. And that's kind of like what makes it very Wild West, but also gives it a lot of personality.
Banned perks for every survivor team.
He does a good job of explaining everything, right, to someone who like wouldn't know anything about it. So I really respect it.
Actions,
Yep.
The list goes on. The goal of all
Very
these
well put
bans
together.
is to make
I
the
agree.
game as skill focused as possible by limiting RNG or things deemed way too strong for the amount of effort you put in. And honestly, they do a pretty good job here. If you
But I went down a rabbit hole yesterday on YouTube of like Call of Duty speedruns. Like, bro, there's literally like a whole competitive scene in Call of Duty Zombies for like who can get round 100 the fastest in Black Ops 1, who can get round 255 in BO2. Like,
you're a main of say,
like bro, people will make anything competitive, bro.
and you could guarantee
That
a
shouldn't,
decent
like,
map and no comp
that quote
players
shouldn't
every
be.
time you queued up at only the cost of your eerie add-ons. Wouldn't you take it? Of course it's not perfect. For example, maps still have RNG within their tiles and gen spawns.
Another Momo? Wait, what is this person's name? I just realized their name. Another Momo.
But tournament organizers do try to get as close as possible to a fair game.
So there's the first point where I kind of disagree to some degree. I think having no RNG and making it as static as possible will make it really repetitive. And I think that's one thing that I think even the players don't really understand to some degree, where they're like, what? But I want the fairest competition possible. But bro, nobody's gonna watch that after 5 games. So it's like, I don't think RNG in itself is that bad because it makes things less repetitive.
Competitive DBD might as well be a totally different game.
It should be a different game. Competitive DBD is nothing like the main game. Bro, these are pubs, bro. 4 separate. This is pub spawns, bro. Just insta 4 split.
When compared to normal public lobby DBD, which I'll refer to as pubs for the rest of this video. So if you are trying to make fun of Comp DBD by saying this game is
Called
meant to be
Deadlock? Yeah, I
competitive,
haven't heard of that
comp
then.
players would probably just agree with you. They're well aware of how many overpowered perks, add-ons, and items there are, as well as how much RNG, especially map RNG, can factor into a win or loss in public games.
See, I respect that he's at least like I feel like this video does a really good job of at least showing both sides. Right now he's showing like kind of like I guess the positive side of comp, right? And then he's gonna show the negative side, which there is a big negative
Explain
side.
this massive rule
You know,
set in
it's
their
a troll
own
video. No,
words,
it's real.
with little
All right, so it's like the map RNG, right? So it's true, there's a lot of RNG in a lot of maps. Like, honestly, if we could select map seeds, I'm not sure if we would use it, to be honest. Because if you would have the same KOTOR for an entire tournament, I would get so sick of it after 3 games. Oh wow, the guy is running to eye loop again. Oh wow, he's dropping Shack afterwards. Oh wow, like everyone, you load in, everyone will know exactly where everything is. It would get so repetitive.
I'll let them explain this massive rule set in their own words. With little to no restrictions, the amount of times the better team wins is decreased,
True.
the amount of RNG heavily increased, and skill expression decreased,
True.
all while significantly reducing the amount of fun playing the game.
True.
Side note, for a lot of players that last bit isn't true, but for comp players, it definitely is. It's
Yeah, no. The personal preference to what go down the Eerie Hatchets, Eerie Tombstone, double Eerie Blight. No, wait. Just a comp, bro.
Preference.
Pub players just haven't played comp to understand
But
that.
this brings us to
we're
the last
right.
common criticism, which can't really be mitigated because it comes from DBD's core design issues. The game's most efficient strategies are
Guys, comp is not camping. Like, why do people still say it? This shit pisses me off. It's not camping, bro. Tunneling, yes, but camping?
often considered the least skillful
Not
by
really.
a majority of the players.
You only camp if you know your win cons.
The game's most efficient.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I watched this video with Sienna, and the funniest part of it, bro, was just fucking like watching all of my friends and people I know just get put in like tweets. Obviously, True Talent is not like my friend, but just like
often
seeing like
considered the least
close
skillful
friends
by a
of mine
majority of the player
that you guys
base.
will
On
see,
the Survivor
like people in my
side,
chat were
pre-dropping
shown
pallets
as
while
well.
the rest of on the Survivor side, pre-dropping pallets while the rest of the team sits on generators. On the Killer side, immediate.
Okay, yeah, see? Okay, I camp here because my win con is like fucking 5 or 6 stages. I don't remember. That's why I camp. Like, I have no idea. I need 6-stage win con.
Tunneling and proxy
Like, this is the only time you're gonna see somebody like literally face camping in comp.
All right, so I feel like that's a very interesting point, and I think that's something that most people don't really understand. For me personally, 4v1 with 4 survivors alive is unholdable for even the strongest killers. If the survivors understand the macro game of Dead by Daylight to a high enough extent, then the killer can not win anymore with 4 survivors alive. And yeah, also this guy is playing for 4-stage win con. That's why he's camping here. And that's also something that might like look weird to outsiders. But yeah, well, I mean, there's not really context given here, which is a bit sad and a little bit of a thing throughout this video, which I kind of dislike because like there's a lot of context missing in this video, which why I'm gonna want to react and I want to give context in the first place.
Why would anyone want to watch this? Well, most don't, which is why the idea of Comp DBD is still pretty unpopular among the majority of the player base.
I mean, bro, this only, I mean, yeah, these people, this only happens like once every
going into year
great
9.
while.
I don't know, yeah. This is the thing, you will not understand this if you only play pubs. The thing is, the game in comp gets interesting once one survivor is dead. That is like, as a concept, because in pubs, it's exactly the other way around. Once one survivor dies, the survivor team is not coordinated enough to do anything anymore. But in comp, it's actually the other way around, because the survivors are coordinated enough to still pressure with one survivor dead. And that's when the game actually starts, because 4 survivors is unholdable. And that's one thing, I think, where the public and the comp thing are kind of like a bit confused, because yeah, well, that's the game follows other rules if you're experienced enough.
However, this isn't the full story for a few reasons, and competitive DBD has actually been growing much faster.
Has been
than in years
growing, that is
past.
true.
The first reason for that is DBD League, which is the main league I'm going to
Why
reference
is
since
King
it's the most
Kong 2 is better than you at every killer in DBD? Sure, bro.
popular, has gotten much better with balance simplification, killer variety, marketing, and finally started trying to push players away from camping too hard by making the tie-breaking win condition tied to unique.
This has always been the tie-breaking win condition. This is how you know this guy doesn't know about comp, bro.
hooks.
Also, this part has always been a thing. Like, this is not a recent thing. So that's one thing he got wrong. Like, he's saying that they recently added this where fresh hooks matter more. Fresh hooks have been, like, a good thing, like a thing to reach for since the beginning of comp. Like it's always been fresh hooks give you more points.
It's always been the tie-breaking win condition. It's just been under points. It used to be 3 points for first stage, 2 points for second, and 1 point for you used to get like 2 points for second and 2 points for last hook. First stage used to be 3 points though. Like he doesn't even know that the scoring used. It's always been like this. It just was under a point system that worked the same way.
This way, if both teams do all 5 gens and they have the same amount of hooks,
Okay, it's always been like this. Skip 5 seconds. Okay, I skip 5 seconds and the video dies.
the
Okay.
former of which usually makes for a better viewing experience. Compare a modern tournament with killers like Oni, Wesker, Plague, Ghostface, and more to the Spirit and Nurse Snoop.
Okay, back in the day, it used to be Spirit and Nurse because the other killers sucked. Like, bro, people forget that there was a major killer overhaul. Like, bro, killers literally used to, like, not get Bloodlust. When you hit a survivor, they made, like, an extra 20 feet of distance, bro. So killer has, like, built-in 3 stacks or 4 stacks of Stabiffle now. Like, the M1 cooldown used to be forever. Like I said, the speed boost when you got hit as a survivor was more. There was another change, too, I don't remember.
Snooze Fests of
The
old, and you'll
default killer.
instantly see how much better it is to watch. The second reason it's growing is that popular content creators like Otts, Hens, Otofu, and Spooky
No
Loops
way.
have been showcasing competitive play in a much better way than comp players have.
All right, so comp players are players, right? So what you have here are content creators. So I think that's very natural because comp tournaments in Dead by Daylight are hosted by the players. They might not necessarily know how to make the best content. They are made for the players. For the players. That's what like I wanted to change a little bit with the Invitational and do like go more heavy on the viewer side, right? And make them more accessible, less wait times, and make them maybe a little bit less player friendly. And people have modded at me. They're like, oh my god, Hens, but the schedule, you can't do this. You can't let us play on one weekend. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Either you play or you don't. And then they played. So I think it worked out in the end.
I think that like comp players themselves are kind of, how do I say this? Like, most of comp is a bunch of teenagers. Even like the older players, like in their 20s, like I still consider everyone young in comp. Like no one is really like mature. I don't feel like there's many mature people. You know, it's just I feel like that's his point, and I agree with it actually.
The third reason it's growing is something that's hard for most DBD players to understand on first watch. When both sides accept that these boring tactics are going to be used, the games stay interesting.
All right, so this is a massive disagreement. I already talked about this. I don't think these things are boring on the high level. You just need to do it. Like, this is just part of the game flow. Like, this might seem weird because on pubs it's so boring. I mean, I guess I can kind of like, I guess I kind of agree to him, but it boils down to the fact that 3v1 is just the way to go and where the game actually gets played. Because you cannot have 4 survivors ever, period. It will never come back because you can never hold against 4. Even if you play Nurse, even if you play Billy, don't care who you are. If you don't get one out in a reasonable time frame, you are going to lose. Okay, I understand what you mean. Like, this is boring. Like, it's exactly the polar opposite in pubs, right? Because like the moment one survivor dies and you play with 2 solo queue teammates, nothing will happen anymore. They will not do gens, they will not rotate properly. The game is pretty much over the moment one person loses. And it's like, it's literally the polar opposite here. It is the game starts once one person is dead. And that's when it gets really fun to watch.
Hens is 50, yeah. Hens is very mature as well.
Team knows and accepts that a tunnel out in camp will almost definitely happen and comes together to prevent it instead of just complaining.
Yeah, I agree, because that's like older for a comp player. Like, being in your 20s is older than most comp players.
It's kind of fun to watch. Having a player pre-drop their first 5 pallets in a public match is boring to chase, but killers.
Yeah, this is pre-dropping is a public match issue. People don't do that in comp unless it's the smart play. People only pre-drop when it's the smart play. You don't just pre-drop every fucking pallet, otherwise you would lose.
Comp have already planned for this and are setting up their dead zones, strategy, and build around
Wait, does you want this? Does you want Hardwell to play for the fucking stun here? Like, bro, you have to drop
If you have a lot of hours on killer,
I mean, to be fair, probably could have played for stun. I don't think the ability was in overdrive. But
at one
anyway,
point, you'll get annoyed
it's
at
not the
how
point.
easy the game can be with just a bit of tunneling and proxy camping, especially when you go out of your way to avoid it and the survivors teabag you anyway.
Bro, this in pubs, this has happened to me before. The eight hook game, bro, and then they teabag in the gate. Nah, bro. For the rest, if I'm playing pubs that day, which is very rare, bro, the next survivors I get, no mercy, bro, no mercy.
Comp DBD doesn't have this problem.
Yeah, true. Comp DBD accepts
Lastly,
tunneling. They accept it's a good strat, and they accept there's no reason to cry about it. It's fun to get tunneled. That means you're in the action for like 50% of the game. Like, you're the main person in the action.
Strategy, importantly, even
Yeah, I just think like there's some massive misunderstandings from like the casuals when it comes to like the 3v1, 4v1. Because like they just project it onto their own game and they don't really look into this. So I find this a really good video. This video is very interesting because it opens up a lot of conversations, and there are a lot of things in this video that I think that like also comp players can definitely take away from it.
that you've never
Wow, dude, Spitz is so
also,
crazy.
There's a common comp player argument here. If skill doesn't matter, why do the same teams always dominate over multiple tournaments?
True. This is like the best argument that could be made. For anyone that ever blames RNG, why would the same teams always win? It's not like the other teams are bad. The other teams would destroy pub players. Destroy them out of the water.
Why do the same teams always dominate
True.
over multiple tournaments?
True.
It's because you can reduce RNG in comp. Like there is no team ever loses to RNG. If they say that, they're just lying. I know some EU teams like to blame shit on RNG. You know that there's some people, but yeah, personally, us on X9, we know we've never lost RNG. Only skill.
Hopefully, I agree
You never
with the
lose
original
RNG in
complaint.
comp.
Optimal strategies are really boring to play with.
Yes, you can have bad RNG, but if you play well, you still win.
Hopefully, I agree with the original complaint. Optimal strategies are really boring to play with or against in public games where you
I think Scott's tweet here is actually like kind of brain damage. I'm not gonna lie. I've kind of realized the higher skill of a match and to be the lower the skill of the match. I.e. at the highest level, people barely loop, just throw pallets immediately, and on the flip side, killer just camp and tunnel because they have to. That's why high level DBD is dumb. I think this tweet from Scott makes him look like he has no clue what he's talking about. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. Like I love Scott, I love his opinions, but I just feel like sometimes Scott doesn't realize that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, he's never played in comp, right? Sure, he has a lot of hours in the game, but he's never scrimmed. He's never 1v1'd, right? Like, for the most part, maybe he has once or twice, but he's not like an experienced competitive player. He doesn't know what he's talking about, you know? Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't really know. Like this tweet just is kind of ignorant.
Strategies
I
are
guess.
really boring to play with or against.
Yeah, I
Games
saw that,
where you
Eunice.
either
I saw
stop
that.
a bunch of idiots or have so much less control over RNG. But in a tournament, it can definitely.
That's just
be
not
more
true.
interesting
They
to
do
try it
loop
against
when
a
it's
group of
safe to do
coordinated
so.
Players who accept that it's part of the game, and it
That was
allows players
2021,
to push
yeah.
themselves to the limit without having to worry
Yeah,
about
it was
either
3
side's
years old.
made-up
It was 3
rulebook.
years old.
So wait a minute. All of
I
this
don't know
just
what he
seems
thinks
like
of
a
it
big
now.
Misunderstanding. Why would so many people be annoyed at competitive DBD when they just innocently?
Because well, I can tell you why. Because the DBD scene loves the cope and doesn't want people to be better than them. They want everybody not to try because if people try, they lose because they're so bad. And there's not a casual versus comp queue, so the casuals will always lose, and then they feel like they don't have fun. That's exactly why.
play custom games among themselves. Well, if you ask people in the comp community,
There needs to be a separate queue. There was a separate queue for the Chaos Shuffle. So many people played Chaos Shuffle that the normal game mode, the queues were still fine. Add a casual queue, add a comp queue. Like, that
they
easy,
apparently
bro.
have no idea. Well, if you ask people in the comp community, they apparently have no idea.
This is a
They're
good
just
part of the
happily
video.
minding their own business while
That's not
insecure
true.
pub players attack
He's right. This is
them
not
for no
true.
reason.
That's
But
not
this in itself is the problem. After watching the comp community for a while now, a lot of their players and viewers are very much living inside a bubble. And when you're
True. I mean, so do the. So okay, I've seen this a lot because I played so many games, and I've played so many games that had different communities, and all of these communities always only wanted to care for themselves. I can talk about RuneScape PvE versus PvP, Tarkov, the survival community against the chat PvPers. Like, it's always the same thing. It is always the same thing.
in a bubble, you don't understand how you look and sound from outside.
Like, I don't know if I'm just old, but like, I swear it's always the same thing in every game. And it's like, yeah, these people always live in their bubble. And that's also true for whatever game, because that's what you experience. Your experiences are valid. That's just how it works. Like, literally, that's just how it works. Because your experience shape your opinions, and you will not look at what other people experience. Like, they are not part of your of what shape your opinion.
A lot of their players and viewers are very much living inside a bubble.
Like, I don't blame the casual. You know, as a competitive like person in video games, I wouldn't really understand why you would want to spend thousands of hours in a game and be a casual. You know, like, I don't really get that. But just because I don't get it doesn't mean I don't like respect it. Like, I understand them being frustrated. And there just needs to be a separate queue. If anything, Chaos Shuffle showed us that they have enough players in the game and enough like want for different game modes, especially a ranked game mode. It probably has more want than the Chaos Shuffle game mode, that you can have two different game modes coexist without the queues going to
And when
shit.
you're in a bubble, they're in comp or associated with the comp community are all extremely.
Like, did this guy make these memes all by himself? I'm actually asking, is this all made by him? Like,
annoying.
this is
If
such
you
a
go to
high
DBD
quality
Twitter,
video,
which
bro.
is kind of the only place Comp DBD exists outside of Discord, you'll instantly be able to tell a comp
Let's see this. Thanks for making 2-man saves. Absolutely useless with your bad player friendly update. True. Like, that's true statement.
player
Yep.
from the incredibly be able to tell
Thanks for making 2-man saves absolutely useless if you're a bad player friend. I mean, this is true.
a comp player from the
They changed the hook grabs because people were bad at double saving and couldn't coordinate it well in public games. I mean,
incredibly small
I don't think saying bad player friendly update it's like a bad thing, bro. I
aura of their tweets. They will often put down pub players.
put down pub players. It's so easy for players to overinflate their ego and skill in DBD. True. Any slightly above average player who isn't aware of comp/fun scene will walk away thinking they're the GOAT. I mean, it's probably true. If you don't know the comp scene exists and you're just like smashing in pubs if you're BNP or insta heals, and I mean, you don't even need to bring OP shit in pubs if you're just playing with your friends and like you're all like decent with some hours in the game. Then yeah, you're probably like shit on the killer. So I mean, that's probably true. You think that you're really good when you're only really good considering you're facing other not so good players. When in reality they're just crutching on broken mechanics. Sometimes crutching on broken mechanics. Other times they're just facing bad players in pubs, like bad serves and bad killers. It's not necessarily crutching on broken mechanics. Probably 50% of the time it is though. I'm playing versus. I mean, yeah, that part's true.
Virtual has a point, and what he's saying is true, because the matchmaking waters down very early on, and you can start dominating extremely early on, and that obviously, like, I was the same when I had like 2 chaos. Like I realized I started winning like a lot. I just started winning 24/7. And then at some point I realized, wow, there are people so much better than me still. Even though I win against like Pub Freddy 90% of times and I have long chases. And I remember like, dude, the old Metal of Man, when that came out, I ran that hard with the Metal of Man that gave you free endurance. Bro, I was like the biggest scratcher in the world. I absolutely was. And yeah, I understand the statement, and I think a lot of people feel that way.
I think this player, I don't know. I think I don't really see anything wrong with this tweet from V1. Maybe I'm part of the problem, but I really don't see this as a problematic tweet. It's so easier for players to overinflate their own skill in DBD. Any slightly above average player who isn't aware of comps from V1 team will walk away thinking they're the GOAT. In reality, they're just crutching on broken mechanics and playing versus underwhelming players all day. True. I don't see how, like, I think he's trying to show this as like a gotcha thing, but is this really that bad? Like, I feel like this is true. Like, some players, they play pubs all day, they think they're the shit because they don't play against good players, you know?
I'd love to see the comments. 65 comments. People definitely did argue, but I don't see the argument being made.
As bots.
Because
And
to
so
me,
they'll
it's just
clutch on
facts.
broken items. They will call any complaint or loss in public matches a skill issue.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Broken
He's
items
right.
and mechanics. They will call any
Does he say always be winning? He's right. Yeah, he's right. He's right.
complaint or loss in
I don't see how this is wrong either. I'm sorry, like I just agree with, maybe I am part of the problem, but my honest opinion is I agree with all of this. Like, it's true. If you get outed in pubs, most of the time, right? He said, yeah, look, I didn't even read the tweet. He said most of the time. I didn't even read that part. I just realized he said that. Yeah, most of the time, if you're not on like Trap or fucking Dog Shit Killer, right? And you're not at a disadvantage and you get outed, you probably made some mistakes. He's not saying it's like, bro, I don't know. I think what Killawhale is trying to say is like, these people are making out to be life and death. They're not, right? I feel like they're just simply stating a fact, right? If you don't care, then you don't care. But at the end of the day, if you don't care, then you shouldn't really have much of a say on game balance.
matches a skill issue.
Being
They'll
a
have
dick for no
nonstop
reason, but how? I feel like that's just the truth.
drama within their
That's
own
just the
community.
truth. How is that
Probably
being
due
a
to the
dick?
fact that most of the
I mean, yeah, new gen comp players or like bad comp players are very dramatic in pubs.
they have time for
The amount of stuff you're seeing on Twitter about people like content creators, like that I've never even heard of, but like that doesn't matter. Like, they're so big content creators or like decent size. Where like make a post like saying how they got shit talking endgame, and you look at it and it's like a low tier comp team. Like, bro, it's like low tier comp makes comp look bad for sure. Like Garrett, like for sure it does. Okay, bro.
they have time for Comp DBD are teenagers.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you're obviously.
Okay, the fact you put this clip in here is actually hilarious.
DC, how DC right now is how Henry quit.
The Comp DBD are teenagers.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
you're obviously.
Okay, we're not watching this.
Easiest way to get every comp
All right. Okay. So we go back to the. Okay. Let me quickly. All right. So it's true. That is the difference between grassroots esports and actual esports with organizations. So if there's actual esports with organizations, right, you would not have these kind of things. Why? Because the organizations would put the players into place. What happens in comp? There are 18-year-olds who are really good at the game. They win tournaments, but there are, okay, I can tell you from an admin side, right? Because I host tournaments too. They are sometimes really, really annoying to deal with.
The easiest way to get every
Hilarious.
comp player to respond to your tweet is to post the most obvious bait ever of you sucking at the game, because they will absolutely eat it up.
And my boy Yvonne got put at the top, bro. My boy Yvonne. You guys, maybe you'll see him later on in chat, but that's great. Like, it was so funny watching this video with Cine. We're like, no way Yvonne got put in here, bro. It's just crazy, like, seeing everyone I know.
Because they will absolutely
Stop breaking pals like a moron. Maybe you're not. Yeah, it's fat.
eat it up. They literally can't help themselves.
True. I mean, that goes back to they are absolutely in their bubble. That's just true. That's the experience they experience. And they are not, like, wrong for that.
The comp community is looking for any reason to show off their thousands of hours of knowledge and skill.
Why did you skip? Because we already know what happens. All DC right now, Angels. Right now, bro. Hey, bro, self-improvement in DBD League, I didn't DC, okay? We like him on hook. Okay. Self-improvement out here, baby. Let's go.
I don't. Okay. This is like I keep repeating myself, but I think the experiences are valid. Just as you when you have 50 hours. If you have 50 hours, like okay, 50-hour meep, right? I play against Pick, I die against the Pick head, and then I'm like, wow, Pick is OP, and then I buy Pick, and then I don't get a single kill. So like I don't know, like what I need in that case is not balancing, like. I need to be explained how the power works, right? I don't need the game balance for myself.
The comp community is looking for any reason to show off their thousands of hours of knowledge and skill
That's
in
fair.
DBD.
You know what? That's fair. Maybe sometimes people like. I feel like that's true. Like I feel like a lot of comp players, including myself, right? Like I don't know. Sometimes they speak about like people who like pub players, right? Like they're so cringe, and they see themselves as like better than other people. I obviously like don't do that consciously, right? But sometimes I'll literally like. I'll think of a pub player who doesn't know what they're talking about, and I'll talk about them like that. Obviously, I don't think I'm a better person for being better than them at the game, right? But I could definitely see his point, because there are a lot of people that do that, whether it's conscious or non-conscious. I guess, I don't know. That's the best way I could say it. Hello, Jedi.
Usually in a way that's meant to make you feel like a dumbass.
Whenever...
They're wildly
Well, let me
confused
read this one. Thank you for the follows.
DBD. Usually
Whenever talks of perk balance comes up and people say deli and reassurance are anti-camp, I just think you're stupid, baby girl. Those are the same best jump perks in the game. See, I don't see the problem with this. Like some of these I can kind of understand, but like this is just like, I don't know. I don't see how this is like an elitist thing to say. This is just like a knowledgeable person saying something about the game. I don't see why this is a problem. It's actually crazy when people in DBD are content content with being bad at the game. There's very few online PvP games where they cater to the lower skill players other than incentivizing people to improve and express skill. I just can't believe how many people are fine sucking. I think this is a bit of an elitist tweet from Ducky. Like this, sure, yeah. Like I love Ducky, but yeah, this is like everyone says shit like this that's questionable. I've said fucking countless shit like this is questionable. I think that people should be allowed to be bad at a game, you know? Like, it's fine. I agree, yeah, no, DBD has a large percentage of players that don't care about being bad compared to other games, but this isn't like a competitive game, right? This is not Valo. This is not League of Legends, bro. No one gives a fuck. All right? Like, I feel like this tweet is kind of like from a bubble. Like, it feels like he's tweeting this from like a bubble of comp players, and, you know, makes sense, right? That's the people he talks to. But I feel like there's a whole like community of people that don't care how bad they are at the game. I will agree that DBD should not cater to these players. I will die on this hill that there is no reason for the DBD developers to be catering to the players that are bad at the game. I'm sorry, that just doesn't make sense. If someone is bad at the game, and they simply do not understand the game enough to like for you to make game decisions based on them, right? They just need to improve at the game. And then, right, if there's simply nothing you could do, there's no reasonable counterplay to it, it's like whatever thing you want to nerf or change, then sure, then change it. But a lot of the times it's changed when there's definitely plenty of counterplay and people just don't want to learn them. Being bad is completely fine, but I don't know why a lot of publishers think they are superior, the game should cater to their choices thing bad. That's what I agree with, right? I agree with that. In no world should a game company cater to players that are worse at the game. Even though, I mean, you can make an argument from a business standpoint, that's what makes them money, which, you know, fair enough. But it's a hard topic, right? Because if you look at a game like, I know DBD is not Valorant, all right, but let's step outside for a second. If you look at a game like Valorant, right, the game is balanced around the very top of the players, like pro players, right? And if the Iron player that doesn't know how to counter fucking Reyna blind, right, doesn't know like what to do against it, or like a Phoenix Flash, then they're gonna say it's overpowered. The Riot developers are not gonna nerf a Phoenix Flash because of that, right? That's my point. Like, I get DBD is not Valorant, but it kind of feels that way, right? Like whenever they add like anti-camp, right? It's so simple to counter camping. You just split gens. Simple as that. There's plenty of things you do to counter tunneling. Get better at chase. But instead, you know, they decide to cater to the players rather than tell them, hey, you just gotta improve. People tell me Sorako is top of A tier. In my opinion, shouldn't matter because I play/watch comp. Yeah, nah. See, it's just stupid. Like people, it's weird to me, right? I'm sorry for ranting, all right. But if you guys want my true reaction, this is my reaction. It's so weird to me that there are so many people in the DBD community that say, "Oh, it's a casual game." Like, "Oh, like it's okay if I'm bad." But then on the flip side, they want to have all these opinions on the game, and they want to say this needs to be nerfed, this needs to be changed. Brother, if you admit to being bad at the game and you say it's not that serious of a game, then shut the fuck up. Let the good players dictate how the game is changed. If you do not care, or you claim that you don't care, and that you're a casual player, then shut the fuck up. A competitive game, like, I'm sorry, DBD is in its nature competitive. It is a player versus player experience. For example, I know this is off topic, but in the Killer Clowns game, people are complaining that people are taking the game seriously. It's a PvP game. People are going to take the game serious. That's just how it is. Like, you cannot expect any sort of competitive game where people can show off skill online or in person for people not to take that seriously. That's like going to like a pickup basketball game and getting mad when someone wants to win and is not just messing around. And I know people like that. It's cringe. Like, people are allowed to take the things they enjoy seriously. You know, that's just how it is. Oh yeah, flashlight timing change. Exactly. They cater to people who don't have the skill. As Skeleton said, that's a very well put. Ultimately, refusing to improve is a valid decision. I agree, but they shouldn't voice their opinion on balance. Exactly.
Like to play DBD.
Not everyone has the time or interest to grind. That's completely valid. Agreed. And shouldn't be criticized, but they should also understand that most comp players are this way out of passion and a want for improvement. Agreed. Agreed. Simple. Moderately bad. Let's watch the rest of it. We could keep on watching.
Trying to improve, putting down any perk or build that they.
I think, like, no disrespect to Roxanne, obviously, but yeah, I agree. You know, like, let people use what they want to. I agree. It is not really a skillful add-on, but I don't call people. I don't know. I know I have in the past for, like, you know, when I lost my win streak, I was like, this is so cringe. But that was emotional, right? I'm just gonna say that. Like, I don't right now. I don't think it was cringe. I think it was cringe that they decided to snipe me when I was 15 hours into a stream, like, knowing that I would have been tired and they didn't want to do it any other time. That is what I think is cringe. But, like, them trying to snipe me and, you know, with all the shit they brought, yeah, it's like overkill. But, you know, they're allowed to do it. You know, they paid for the game. They can do whatever they want. As a league staff member too, this looks bad. I agree. Yeah, I can agree. But yeah, no disrespect to Roxana. I say a lot of shit later on in this video you guys are gonna see that I regret saying. Like, I'm like, alright, I just shouldn't have ever said this. Right? Like, everyone says shit that other people are gonna disagree with. No disrespect to Roxana. But yeah.
I think will interrupt this.
But Roxana, just annoying. Please refrain from saying stuff like that, my friend. Like, you know, don't call anyone annoying just for no reason, you know? You're allowed your opinion, but I'm not gonna endorse that, bro. Please.
For maximum skill expression.
Not gonna time you out, but next time, just please watch it.
Don't really like when others are condescending, and the comp community really doesn't.
My experience with comp players and posts is them saying GG easy after it. Yeah, which is cringe, but that comes from any player, you know? I feel like people see toxicity and they're like, oh, that's a comp thing. Yeah, everyone has toxicity. Everyone. What I like about him showing a lot of the tweets like that is you can find 10 times more than non-comp content creators / DBD players. Yeah, I agree. He's like targeting comp players and their bad tweets when there's bad tweets from everyone. Bro, you could see Scott Junn saying the N-word. Watching you get them in tournament and forking them at 4 gens was so nice. I mean, yeah, that's part of what made me really upset, knowing that I would destroy them in a normal setting. But he also talked about that later, so. Tweet is slightly unoptimal pathing is kind of funny. Hello, Ricky.
Doesn't seem to know.
I love it. I like DBD comp is the only comp scene that has ego problems. Yeah, every comp scene has ego problems, bro.
Cross this way, but hey,
I don't know, bro. Like, opinionated people. I think this is just, we always keep going back to like the thing that there's grassroots. There are no organizations to keep people in place. Maybe I should be the orga. Should we make like an overhead orga of comp that tells people how to behave? That would be crazy, bro.
there are smug elitists in every hobby.
Wait, is this oh, what's his name, bro? Oh, bro, what's his name? That's the guy from TikTok, bro. Yeah, Ben Shapiro.
DBD is a pretty mechanically simple game. Yes.
Wait, I watched this video before, guys, by the way, but like off stream. Nah, the guy from TikTok. Yeah. Nah, this part gets crazy.
As a massively, DBD is a pretty mechanically simple game.
Disagree.
Yes, it has a massive skill.
Disagree.
Ceiling, but
I think that Survivor takes thousands upon thousands of hours to get good at and really like top level. And I think he says something. It's like what? Like 1,000? You could become really good with 1,000 hours? No, the fuck you cannot. I have never seen an 1,000-hour player that is not absolutely horrible at this game.
But most.
I'm sorry. It's just not true. Yeah, it's not as mechanically skillful as like an FPS, but he's just not right. Yeah, I agree. Like, you could think of it, be like, oh, once they get to here, you vault, and you know, once you see them there, you go around. But the actual muscle memory that goes into that is not as simple as that.
This is
You can be good for pubs. I agree. I
from
agree.
game knowledge and experience.
You think someone who started DBD in the common environment 1K hours, they wouldn't be good? I know players like that, Marwood. They're decent, right, for compared to other 1K hour players, but they're not top level, not even close. I know many players that are like that, actually. I know many players. I actually started comp at like 600 hours. You know that, right? At about 1,000 hours, not 4K trauma. I 7-stage trauma on demo, which was a good result. But bro, it's not like I was like some insane player. Like, you can get lucky, you could do well on you know, certain situations. But to become a consistently good player, 1,000 hours, does not mean I was a good player. Does not mean I was a good player. Does not mean I was a good player. You know, most Valorant pros have 2,000 hours. Most Valorant pros have 2,000 hours. So that's not really much of like an argument. I don't think 1,000 hours is good enough. No, I don't think 1,000 hours is good enough.
Whole game.
All right, so cool. Like, I don't think you're like generally wrong, but like nobody plays perfectly on a mechanical level. So like how, I don't know, like the skill floor might be low. That is true. Skill floor, true. I get it. But like ceiling, no, it's not. Nobody reached it. Like nobody plays perfectly on a mechanical level. And some people are better than others. Like, I don't understand this argument. I think this is like a take that is like out of his own bubble. Like, he's also not wrong for saying this, but he's actually talking about the floor, not the ceiling. And he does not really care to hit the ceiling too.
Difficult thing.
I agree. I don't like, okay, if he's trying to compare it to like Valorant or CSGO, sure, yeah, it's not even close. I agree. But the mechanics you need for different killers and different survivors, and even like M1 killer mechanics, game sense, the game knowledge that goes into it should not be underestimated. Seriously, I don't think, like, that's what I think. Like, this guy doesn't know fully what he's talking about. You know, like, I agree with a lot of his points, but there's certain things like this that I just don't agree with. He hasn't even said this yet, right? I'm saying this before he said it because I know I've watched this video. But yeah,
Things you can do, but you
because skill trends from other games they played before. Yeah, that's true with Valorant. Yeah, just like the video he misrepresented the Nightlight video losing a streak to a random nurse when it was hitboxes as a comp player. That was mesh. That wasn't hitboxes. I think this game is mechanically challenging. The inputs aren't hard. It's just knowing what to do. Maybe not mechanically challenging. Like, it's not mechanically challenging, but the game knowledge that goes into it takes thousands upon thousands of hours. Marwood, that's my thing. That's what I'm trying to say here. I think this game, in terms of game sense, who is mesh, a comp player. I'm gonna say a hot take. Hold on. Unique thing about DBD is that the game is so unique compared to any other game. Like, if I'm good at Valo, I can be okay at Apex. That's true. I'm gonna say something that's very controversial. Okay, I think that game sense in DBD is on par or even harder than other competitive games. Not other. No, I'm not saying other as in like other like Valo, like that. That is just competitive. DBD is not competitive. I think game sense that goes in DBD actually is more than Valo. Not even close. That's my opinion. I think there's more that goes into it. I don't know about that. That's my opinion. Nah, I think it's on par or more. I don't know. I'm just an Ascendant player. I'm not that good. But I felt like I had an easier time grasping like what's going on in a pro game of Valorant. Like, I can understand more of what they're doing than when I first started playing DBD. I was at like 1,000 hours in DBD. I still didn't understand what was going on in the games. No, man, I'm not doing a show match. We can agree to disagree. And as I said, I know that's a very hot take. You guys can clown me for it all you want. But from playing both games, I have 1,000 hours in Valo now. I still have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, game sense wise. I feel like I'm so lost most of the time. That's just my opinion. I really feel like I'm lost. Like, when to rotate, like when to anchor, you know, like when to swing, when not to swing. And I'm an Ascendant player. Like, well, not Ascendant, I'm like Diamond. Yay, Vincent. I'm Diamond player. I'll be fair. I haven't even Ascendant. I don't know. I'm just saying, I think that DBD, like, mechanically is not as hard. Obviously, nowhere near as hard as like Valo. But I think the game sense aspect is up there. 100%. I think it's up there. Bro, if you have people with 10,000 hours who are still, like, not, like, very good game sense, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Like, bro, like, even people like Nightlight, right, have things to learn in this game still. And he has, like, what, how many hours? Even people like like these aren't comp players, but like Tofu, Ots, bro, they have tens of thousands of hours. They still don't know everything about the game. I'm sorry, like that's just my honest opinion. I will not stand down on this. That is literally every game. Fair enough. That's true. That's true actually. That is true. I just feel like the game sense that goes into DBD is comparable. Not the mechanics, but the game sense for sure.
There are some difficult things you can do, but you can win 99% of your games without ever learning these.
True,
I'll
and
be
pubs.
honest, I've sucked
And
at
pubs.
multiplayer games. I'll be honest.
That's
I've
true.
Sucked at multiplayer.
He's talking about pubs here though. Okay, so wait, I know I've been yapping for a little bit. So he's saying that you can win 99% of your games without getting too good mechanically, which is true. But that's not how it is in comp.
games. Most of my.
That has wow. Okay, that's just the matchmaking though. Like I don't understand what the point is. Like that is the point of the
I'll
matchmaking.
be honest, most of my life. No matter what I did, my KD was usually barely over 1 when I used to play shooters. But in DBD, I can win most of my games with mostly just
I mean, yeah, we all agree that pubs are easy as fuck.
experience.
True, but that's because the players you're playing against are dog shit. Like that he's saying he can win 90% of the games just from his knowledge and experience. True, but that's because, bro, look at this Dwight. He's getting mind gamed around Shaq. Look, he's already getting mind gamed around Shaq. Like, of course you're gonna win against him, bro.
Which is what drew me toward it in the first place. So when a bunch of players start talking about skill expression so
Comp also isn't about the rule set, it's also a community of above average players. True, I agree.
often in a game where you can probably win most matches after like 500 hours if you have decent
True.
video game experience and
True,
don't follow the
but that, like okay, I would say pubs and DBD is comparable to unrated and Valorant. If I have 500 hours in the Valorant and I play unrated, most of the kids in there suck. I will probably top frag every game. Like right now, I will go into an unrated game and drop like 30-40 kills every game. Like sometimes I play with Sienna and like a Swift play. One time I dropped 20 kills in a Swift play. Like it's really easy. And I feel like that's comparable to DBD. Like DBD pubs are comparable to unrated and Valorant. That's how I see it.
100 hours if you
That's true. That is true. You can win most of your public games after 500 hours if you're like naturally a good video game player. That's
have
true.
decent video
For
game
sure.
experience. In most games and sports, the top players have 10,000 plus hours and extremely precise mechanics. In DBD, you could probably get there in 1,000 if you
You can be mechanically good versus every killer in the game at 1,000. This guy is smoking.
practiced correctly.
Yeah,
and
see,
just watched
this is not true.
You actually practiced correctly and just watched videos to gain
Dude, it takes 1,000 hours just to be the GOAT versus Trapper alone. Let alone every killer in the game with an ability that has a different way you have to loop. Every single loop is different versus every single killer, the way you have to play the loop.
the necessary knowledge.
Like you could get pretty good, but you are not going to be a top player in 1,000 hours. I know some ladder players who are like 3,000, 4,000 hours that are very good mechanically. You put them into 4v1, they're horrible. Like this game, like I don't know. I agree it's not as much as like other like games like Valo. Yeah, there's no player like that, Deco. There's no player like that. And even like, for example, the player I think of right now who's on a top team, right? Who's like low hours, 3K, Sav. Sav is 3K hours, nearly 4K. Bro, Sav is insane in 1v1. No disrespect to my brother Sav. What the fuck is that guy doing in 4v1? Haunt is an insane 4v1 player. I know you guys are gonna laugh. Haunt is a very good 4v1 player. Like for 4K hours, very insane. Haunt is 4K, yeah. Haunt is very insane. You put him in 1v1, he's like mid. You know, he's not bad in 1v1. He's above average for sure. But yeah, like there's no player out there with 1,000 hours that is good, bro. I've seen like I've personally experienced players who tell me like, yo Momo, I have 1,000 hours. I feel very good. And I 1v1 them, they're dog shit. They're not good. And that's not bad thing, right? They have 1,000 hours. But 1,000 hours, you're still a baby in this game. Right? So while I do agree with a lot of this guy's points, I know, okay, it's kind of crazy we stretched out this video so much. But while I do agree with a lot of this guy's points so far, some of this is just not true.
All right, so I heavily disagree with that statement. I think he got it actually. Okay, I'll even go as far as saying he has it completely the wrong way around. Completely. Oh, with ads. No. Okay, I will wait. I don't think that is like a thing. DBD is extremely unique. On most other games, you can actually get skills that transfer to the games. Like for example, if you bring out a new shooter right now, right?
Skill is just a social construct. It's not real trust, hen shark.
So I mean, you always have to differentiate between the ceiling and the floor, right? If he's saying like it's relatively easy to play against someone, because I would even disagree to that. If someone like Shroud starts playing a shooter, no matter what, you will get good in like no time. Give him like 100 hours, he's gonna be top tier, absolutely top tier. But like actually chasing in Dead by Daylight, no way you're good. M1 chase without like at least 3,000 hours. I swear, like, is there? I don't know. Would any player without 3,000 hours beat me in an M1 chase? I'm not even that good, but I don't think they would. I just don't see it. I remember like 1v1ing Laser. I remember 1v1ing Laser when he had like, I don't know. Laser's probably one of the best examples when it comes to players that are like very competitive and they start going into comp with very low hours. I think I started playing in a team with Laser when he had like roughly 3k hours, I think. That was in Turbo Talks and German tournaments. But I think when we started playing, I think it's fair to say that I was the better player. Even though Laser was extremely competitive in his mindset and he wanted to improve, like his M1 was just like he had a very weird playstyle because he didn't have the basics down yet. It's like, it's very weird. But I think you cannot possibly be good in DBD without like 3k hours. Like if you are good with 3k hours, you're God. You're like a godlike talent.
The second reason is that most DBD players are kind of bad at the game from an objective standpoint.
Okay, that's true. Wait, okay, so wait, when Virtual Nightlight said this on Twitter, oh no, comp player is putting down the pub scene. This guy says it right here. He literally brings it up 2 minutes later in his video. But when they tweet about it, this is a bad thing.
Standpoint. I would say the main reason for this is that there's no way to practice mechanics of any kind on your own, and 95% of the player base is not going to waste time working on flashlight save timing with a friend in a custom game. All the experience most
I mean, that's true. The slowest way to improve is playing pubs.
people have is from pubs, where you might get 4 games an hour if you're lucky.
You get 5 games in an hour, not 4, but yeah. You only get 5 pub games an hour, and that's terrible compared to 1v1/scrim proc.
Most
You get
players
way more
are
games
totally
in.
fine with this. When everyone is bad, it all evens out and makes for exciting games. Unfortunately, the players that aren't fine with this are either the ones who are extra bad and will blame everything but themselves while demanding balance changes.
True.
Demanding balance changes that would benefit.
This is the goofiest tweet. Most of you play this game, killers in particular, have been making the barbecue. Most of you that play this game, killers in particular, have been making the barbecue event unfun. Slugging, tunneling, and camping just get the most points. I get it, you need the points, but then what's the point in getting all those points just to kill the fun for everyone else? I don't know a killer that I don't know how a killer can play many matches just to be like this. I really don't get it. Down one server, pick them up, and don't go to the other side of the map to get someone else. This game is changing this fun and not in a positive way. This is the problem with the game. These types of players are the problem with the game. They expect the other side to play in a way that's fun for them. And it's just like, why? Like, it's a game. My job is not to make sure you have fun. Your job is not to make sure I have fun. You're supposed to just play the game, play it how you want to. If you want to try in 4K, go for it.
That would benefit them.
True.
Or the players who have practiced DBD mechanics way too much and are now better than 99%.
I don't think way too much. I think it's a justifiable amount. If you like the game, are you just supposed to be bad? Supposed to not improve? Like, I don't think way too
0.9%
much,
of-
but I get what he's saying. Like, there's players that spent time in customs that are good now, like the comp players. I don't think that's a
not
bad
realizing
thing.
that there's a lot of reasons that almost
Hey, my
no
boy's
one else
on you. Well, then it becomes you realize no one cares about it. It's completely irrelevant. It's like being competitive Fall Guys. Like, please understand people play pubs for fun 10,000 times more than y'all sit in customs moving for hours. No one cares, bro. See, I don't know why Swart made this. Like, this is true. I'm pretty sure this was like a subtweet towards someone. I don't know what it was about, but yeah, Swart has played in tournaments himself. So how do I get into COMPDBD? Do Ice Push Point DBDS and join that server. It's a good way to get into it. Do some 1v1s.
I'll let you figure out which category comp players
I mean-
belong to. So
I don't think, why care though? Why care? So everyone in Dead by Daylight, right, has balanced opinions if you have enough time in the game. Everyone, that includes comp players, that includes casuals, whatever you are, and your experience are just going to be different. And I think, like, comp players are just not that different from other players. Like, they experience things, and, like, honestly, most comp players don't really, like, want the game balanced for them. I've personally not seen that, like, a lot. And I think most people, like, within the comp scene are aware enough that the game is not going to be balanced for them. Not only that, comp by itself balances the game. We have like a roll shield of balancing, as we see here. 50 parks are banned in 4v1. If an unbalanced park comes out for comp, it's gonna be banned. Nobody cares.
Okay,
So
all I'm gonna say, chat, is they do not play. This tweet couldn't be more wrong. Like, please. Like, please. Understand, people play pubs for fun 10,000 times more than y'all. Wait, is it me or who's complaining on Twitter about DBD? Was it the pub players or was it the comp? Oh, it must have been the comp players complaining on Twitter about DBD. I must have like misread millions of tweets. Because based on what I see on Twitter, it doesn't look like the pub community has fun. That's just what I see on Twitter. The comp scene has much more fun playing comps than the pub players have playing pubs, bro. The pub players are constantly bitching.
You figure out which category comp players belong to. So I'll summarize the first issue with a metaphor. Have you ever started up a co-op game with friends, but you have that one guy who rushes endgame content as fast as possible to...
Okay, this is not comparable to Minecraft rushing.
...get ahead of everyone else? It kind of sucks the fun out of it for the people who have to play with them. And that's kind of how people feel about competitive DBD players.
Yeah, but competitive DBD players play customs with other competitive DBD players. Obviously, competitive DBD players play pubs sometimes. Like, pubs are part of the game. It is the base game mode, so it will happen, but majority of the time is what matters. Majority. The majority of the time is customs.
Most of us can agree that playing against a...
Like, I think this is stupid. Like if someone wants to go above and beyond, why are you personally attacked by that? See, I just think that's stupid as hell. I'm sorry. I think that's stupid as hell. I've been in that situation, that exact situation I'm talking about, right? Where like I want to chill and like make our little house, and my friend wants to go defeat the Ender Dragon. By all means, bro, go ahead. Like it's our server. I'm not personally offended by that. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'll make the base. You know, you could go get the fucking blaze rods. I don't care. Have fun, bro. Who cares? I don't like that metaphor. Like, if this is my exact point. It's funny because some people say they enjoy the game casually, but then get mad when someone else doesn't enjoy the game casually. If you are a true casual player, then you should not give a fuck how other people want to play the game. Like that goes against the nature of being a casual player. It's just not how that works. That's not how that works, bro.
As a comp player, if majority of your games aren't in customs, then you're not even a comp player at that point. Like, you're just on a low level, no name, bottom of the barrel team, and at that point you're not even comp. You're a pub team. You're like a console clan tag at that point. Although majority of your time should be spent in customs, 1v1 scrims, whatever, if you're a comp player.
Is this fair to complain about? In my opinion, not really. Do
Okay.
I understand why people
I like that.
complain about it? Absolutely.
I like that.
But
You can turn the entire thing around, right? Like, I play on the PTB, I want to test the new killer, then I load into the game that I waited 20 minutes for, and then I see my first survivor, and it's a Stevie, and he's playing his guitar, and he doesn't want to run away from me. So, like, I don't know, like, he's valid, like, let him play his guitar, I'll not hate on him, but at the same time, I don't know, like, this is normal, this is natural. Everyone has different, like, goals, and DBD, many people come here with different backgrounds, and even the Claudette that just wants to hide in a bush is valid. She can buy the game, she can hide in a bush. If you want to, like, I don't know, do a streak in Dead by Daylight, you can just do it. You can do it. Nothing will stop you. Like, there's so many different backgrounds and different things that make you maybe play Dead by Daylight, and I think a little bit of respect both ways would go a long way.
about CompDBD in particular is the fact that comp players seem to be unaware of how funny their bubble really is. Like, they made up a game mode with their own made-up rules.
Playing for nothing?
Somehow that makes them better than everyone.
I
who
mean,
just
bro,
plays this
whenever you
game
play a
normally.
game, you're playing for
Reminder,
nothing most of the time.
pubs
It's not really a game mode. 1v1, okay, that's funny. Yeah, 1v1 is just the pure isolation of chase. It's not about actual, like, winning in the game. It's just chase. Who's better in chase?
Like, they made up a game mode with their own made-up rules.
We
and
did?
somehow that makes them better than everyone who just...
It doesn't somehow make them better. It's the fact that if we played the normal game mode, we would still be better than said player.
I mean, to be honest, isn't, like, 1v1s, like, that exists in almost every game, no? I've 1v1'd in Rust on custom servers. I 1v1'd in League. Like, bro, that's, like, normal, no? I swear, that's, like, in almost every game.
plays this game normally. Reminder, pubs is literally the only game mode in DBD with progression, rewards, achievements, and the only game mode that developers care about, as shown by them
That is true.
leaving tons of spectator bugs in custom games for months now.
True.
Everything
True.
you do in customs is just
Can't
something you
argue that.
made up, just like every tournament win that you notch
84, bro. Get it? It's 86 now. No, get it right, bro.
on your
Come
Twitch
on.
about page is made tournament win that you notch on your Twitch about page is made up by someone else.
Okay, well, like, I don't know. You could hear me out here, all right? I don't like this argument that is just like made up, because you could really say that about any accomplishment, you know? Like you could literally say that about anything. Yeah, as Marwood said, that applies to everything. You could literally break anything you want down to mean nothing. You know that, right? Not even every game, everything you do in life. Like, okay, I know I sound really stupid right now, but like, hear me out, right? Like, I don't know. If you keep on asking someone why do something, you'll reach a point where it's like you can't answer, right? Like eventually, if you keep on asking someone why over and over and over, there's a point where you just can't answer. Things have meaning according to what you give. Like, the meaning of things, philosophy doesn't, I guess so. Like, the meaning of things a lot of the time is the meaning you give it, right? So if you think, right, that these tournaments matter to you and you want to flex the accomplishment, go ahead. There's always going to be one person out there that invalidates your accomplishment, right? Like, I could be, I don't know, dude, I could be like the number 1 cycler in the world, right? And there'll be some office guy who's like, bro, who the fuck cares? Like it's a waste of time. Like, I don't know. Like, you won this marathon, you didn't make any money from it. Like, who cares? You could say that about anything. Oh, you go to the gym, you're big and buff, who cares, bro? How's that gonna help you make any money? Oh, like, you know, you eat healthy, like, who cares? Like, why do you eat healthy? You're gonna die in 70 years anyway, you know? Oh, like, you know, your name is written in the history books, whatever. You're obviously, this is like big hyperbole, right? Like, this isn't comparable to this, obviously, but I don't know. I don't like this argument that it's just made up, it doesn't matter. You could say that about anything, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you really want to be that cynical, we're all gonna be dead in 100 years, so nothing really matters, you know? At the end of the day, things have meaning according to what you give them.
About page is made up by someone else. So
Okay, bro, dude, like, this game is also just pixels on the screen. Like, I don't like.
even if you are technically right,
I mean, this is technically right, yes.
even if you
Doesn't matter how talented, passionate you are about the game. If you exclusively play public games, you get stuck and never reach your full potential. Only way to really get good at DBD is in custom games versus good players. I agree with V1, but I also think this is elitist. That's just my opinion. I think that if someone doesn't want to get good at the game, by all means, they don't have to get good at the game. But I will say, V1 never says like, oh, you need to get good at the game. So I don't know. I think it might be a bit of a reach.
you are technically right about your opinions on pub players, even if it technically is a
If you're having a rough day of Dead by Daylight, just remember there's people who willingly play it with zero profit, zero passion, zero will improve, and cry about ones that try to become better. Like, I know this is seen as an elitist tweet, but this is just facts. Like, this is straight up just facts. This is not just facts. Am I tripping for saying this is just facts? Like, okay, if this last part right here, cry about ones that try to become better, if that was not there, then I would agree. This is like a stupid tweet, right? He's saying, oh, if you're having a rough day of Dead by Daylight, just remember there's people who willingly play with zero profit, zero passion, zero will improve. Now, if that was the end of the tweet, then yeah, that would be a bit of a cringe tweet, right? Like, people are allowed to play the game for fun, right? Like, at the end of the day, like, that, I would agree. If he said it like that, that would have been cringe. But the point he's getting at is that some people like call it cringe to want to get better at the game and like, you know, playing comp, playing tournaments, playing 1v1s, but then they play the game for nothing, right? They just play it for fun. And I think that's cringe. Like, why are you gonna play something and enjoy it, but then dunk on someone else's fun? You know? That doesn't make any sense to me.
skill issue that even if it technically is a skill issue that someone's complaining about,
True.
no one cares. What people do care about
See, I don't agree with the no one cares though, because like this guy said earlier. Where is it? I can't find it, bro. It's somewhere. This guy said earlier in the video, he said, you either have you either have bad players in DBD that are fighting for balancing changes on Twitter, or you have the comp players, and then like that's when the comp player tangent goes off. So before this, he mentions how bad players want change in balance. See, the thing is, people do care. That's the thing. No one cares. This was the point I was trying to make, which he says earlier in the video. Bad players do care because they're trying to balance the game around them because they're not trying to improve. So yeah, it does matter. Like a lot of people care because we don't want the game to have like 4 OTRs, 4 DS, 4 DH in the base kit. We don't want it to be base kit, bro. That's what these people are fighting for. These terrible Survivor players like fighting for insane base kit and like killer debuffs, bro.
What people do care about is results. Let me explain. Let's say you have a pub killer or a pub swift who brings the most disgusting broken builds and wins every public
Everything is
game,
crunched to someone.
and a comp
Yeah.
killer or comp team that brings whatever and wins every public game.
Okay.
No one really cares about the fake skill of the former.
If I'm a killer player, maybe this is just me, but if I'm a killer player and I see a bunch of broken stuff, it's pretty easy to cope, no? Like, I've played pubs before as Survivor. Like, I was abusing Buckle Up FTP, like, a week before it got nerfed. Just because I never played it before, ever, in comp or pub. So I was like, okay, let me try it. So I was swifting with Cynic, you know? And, the killers in the endgame chat, every time they would complain, like, we would still easily out the killers in pubs. Like, this combo didn't affect us outing them. But just because we had it, they would cope in the endgame chat and basically say they did not lose because of their own skill. Now, if you have 4 players that play perkless, or just bring, like, I don't know, like, balance landing only or some shit, bro, and then you out, the killer can't cope. Like you can't cope that. You have to, like, take that to heart that you played bad.
They're both
You know?
winning every game.
And
in
so
the
it
only game
does
mode that
matter. It does
developers
matter
made.
for sure.
End of story. The players on the other side of those games got shit on equally. But I really think that
No, you don't get shit on equally, bro. Yo, Hens, when you made this showcase, I thought you were gonna get like pub people with like egos. Instead, you just got like a bunch of content creators. So it wasn't really like stomping pub egos. It was like just friendly. It was like giving like I don't even know. I don't even know how to describe it. It wasn't what I was looking for though.
Others comp
Because
players
I ended up just facing like a humble Swift, bro.
because they're
Wait, I don't understand the point. Like, is he saying this is equal if you bring 4 brand new parts and 0 pox? I don't think so, honestly.
I mean, you could say this game was just made up by the DBD devs. Like, I don't know. I don't like this argument that he's like, oh, it's just made up. Like, who gets to decide what is cared about? You know, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's saying like 1v1s and scrims and stuff are messed up and no one cares about, like, how do I say this? He's saying 1v1s and scrims are made up by this community and that it only exists in that bubble. But so does DBD in general. Like, DBD, like, if you tell some random guy in the street, yo, I 4K'd fucking Hens is Swift, like, no one's gonna care. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, things only matter to a certain amount of people. You know? I don't think that's a good argument that you could say.
They're constantly talking about the ego.
Yeah, he
of
did
pub
do it. He
players
did
who
do
are
it.
crutching on
Okay.
things that comp players think are OP. This leads them to constantly respond to people who don't
I like this tweet, actually. Most DB players are so bad, most people have no skill. Agreed. I can agree with that. I think that these are just fair statements, though. Like, I don't know. I don't think that it's wrong to say this. Like, saying most DB players are so bad, is that really that wrong to say? I don't think that's a bad thing.
It always follows the logic of, if you lost, skill issue. If you won, you were using broken shit, and it's still a skill issue. The best example of people who don't really care what the comp community thinks. And it always follows the logic of, if you lost, skill issue.
That's
if
true.
You won, you were using broken shit, and it's
See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay.
still a skill issue. The best example of this is when a comp player loses in pubs. Let's look at MomoSeventh.
Oh, I hate this part of the video. I hate this part because he removes so much context. It's
Comp
insane.
team, let's look at MomoSeventh, a player
Look
for
at
the
me.
comp team
I'm here.
Petroleum, after losing his 1,900.
Like you guys all know. Like, I mean, I'm chill with Momo now, but you know, like, we're not like best friends or anything. So like, you know what I say is actually gonna be factual here.
Games. Despite being understandably upset after having such a long streak broken, once the endgame chat starts, he immediately says, "Scrim?" Which to me might as well say, "Well, you beat me in the unbalanced luck-based game. Now come prove it in a real game."
Okay, that is true. Momo and I mean, I watched this game. Momo could have easily won this game, but that's not the point.
I'll say,
See,
well,
this
you
is-
beat me in the
oh, we'll let
unbalanced
him go.
luck-based game. Now come prove it in a real game. To which one player hilariously responds,
GG's
"Nah,
from Team
I'm
EQ."
good." Comp players really don't understand how funny it is.
Okay, so I think that what this guy is missing, I will agree, it's funny. Yeah, it's pretty fucking funny. I think what this guy is missing though is that like the whole point of these people sniping, right? And the same thing goes for later on. I'll explain with Nightlight section. So the whole reason these guys sniped was to get like some sort of like ego, right? To make them think to think like, wow, like, you know, we outed MomoSeventh, like we're really good. And I have like, you know, I've seen screenshots to prove it. That's the reason why people snipe to begin with. And like, I guess the whole reason why people say 1v1 or scrim afterwards is like, okay, you know, come play me in a balanced rule set and we'll see how you do. That's the whole point. Then they get format and Swift from a comp team just to break the streak. Yeah, and you want to know something? I played against them in a tourney a couple days ago and I forked at 4 on Spirit. And then we 4-stage their Spirit. So it just shows you, like, that's what happens when the game is kind of like balanced for both sides. But I don't know. I think this misses a lot of context. Like, it's definitely fair. The way I reacted was kind of goofy. But I also think that he missed the fact that these guys sniped me like 16 hours into my stream. They refused to do it any other time, but 16 hours into someone's stream, right? That's when they're like, okay, time to snipe him when he's tired, you know? Like that's what I think he's failing to realize, you know? And I think he just misses some context, which I think you guys will see later on as well with Nightlight section.
Random pub
Wait,
players to scrim.
random pub players to scrims. That is what this guy is skipping context on, because it literally says it right here. GG's from Team EQ. Momo knew this was a low-level comp team when he said the scrim. That's what this guy's missing. But if Momo lost to straight pub players and told the pub players to scrim, dude, that would be mad hilarious. But these guys are comp players.
But the truth is that no one really cares about how skilled you are in a balanced version of the game that you made up. And to accept this truth, that would mean admitting that you spent thousands of hours obtaining skills that even the developers
Sure.
don't care about. But here, any comp player might be pulling the "they aren't a real
Yeah,
comp player"
the
card,
snipers were
similar to the
other.
no true Scots.
So okay, let me explain something. Okay, the snipers were other comp players, like comp players. Okay, they're not. Hello Ark. I don't care if I offend them. All right, they're shit. They're bottom of the barrel comp players. We played against them like not even that long ago. They got 4 at 4 to Spirit, and they got 4-stage on their Spirit. They're not good players, right? So, like the reason why a lot of people get upset. Like for example, later on Nightlight gets mad at this nurse that sniped them. It's not the fact that they sniped them and want to play against them. It's the fact that they're like, the whole reason people do streaks, like comp players do streaks in public matches, is not for an ego. Like for me personally, and for I'd assume everyone else, Nightlight is not doing killer streaks in pubs just to get an ego over himself. He's doing it for content, right? Because let's be real, there isn't much to do in this game, right? Outside of just playing pubs over and over, trying to improve your mechanics, there's not much to do. There's not much content to make other than comp, you know, and maybe pub win streaks or challenges. That's all you can do. So when another comp player, right, who can easily snipe you and end your streak, right? Like if Team Cynic or Team X9 wanted to end any one of my streaks, they could. Like, okay, join my lobby, put on OTRDS on every survivor. I'm chopped. It's over. I'm getting outed. I'm not winning that, right? Like that's just how it is. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. That's just how it is. So for a comp team to snipe you or a comp killer to snipe you when you're trying to do your content, it's cringe, right? It's other comp players see it as cringe. And that's what a lot of people in the public like community, right? I don't want me to say as in like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be like, oh, those people over there. Like people who don't really like aren't familiar with the comp community or aren't involved themselves. They don't realize that it's seen as cringe, not because they sniped and like are trying to end the win streak, but because everyone knows you could do it, right? Like any 4 players who are even slightly into comp can snipe with really strong builds any win streak. They can snipe any win streak they want and they can end it, you know? You know, only hold that viewpoint if you're willing to call out other comp players sniping. Yeah, and I mean, I do. Everyone wants to be the best, and anything has an ego, you have to believe you could be the best. Exactly. I don't know why people see ego as a bad thing. It's just everyone has it. Steve sniped True. Everyone thought it was funny. The difference is Steve sniping True was not like ending his streak, right? It was not like messing up his content. It wasn't anything like that. You know, I think that is different. I think that is different. That was more of just like I get to play against you. I actually don't mind, like, me personally, I don't mind people sniping my streak. I don't mind people sniping my streak. What I mind is people sniping, like, I've been sniped before and I've lost to snipers and I haven't had that reaction. The reason why I got mad, especially then, was because I knew how shit they were. I knew that they were sniping me because they wanted to feel like they were better than me. And I knew that they were sniping me at a specific time because they knew I would be tired during that time. You know? Too much ego. Too much ego is always bad. I agree. That's why I was personally upset. That's the reason why. Was it still funny? Yeah, absolutely. Do I regret the way I acted? Yeah, I should have controlled myself 100%. I reacted very poorly. Do I regret the things I said to them, like you're garbage? No, they are garbage. They're horrible players. They're literally bottom of the barrel players who will never accomplish anything in this game. Simple as that, bro. If you need to snipe some content creators win streak to feel like you're good at the game, just quit, bro. Just quit. As simple as that. That's just my opinion.
The implication is that only the lower tier comp players go around stomping pubs.
That's mostly true. This is like 90% true. Low tier comp players. No offense, CEO of Lurky is who this guy shows on the YouTube video. I don't even know if this guy plays comp.
And challenging randoms and annoying everyone on Twitter, and the top comp players would never do that.
Okay, I will say this. Hey, that's me. Oh, that's awkward. Well, anyway, I will say this, bro. I know I'm not like a probably good representation of the comp scene or some crazy shit I'd be saying, but I will say this. As a DBD League, like, I agree with almost everything Roxana says on Twitter. Like, I read her posts, I'm like, yeah, I agree. But that doesn't matter. As the, like, well, some posts, I should say. Yeah, probably not every post, because I'd have to, like, actually go through them one by one to make sure. But, some, like, majority of the posts. But as the DBD League, like, which is the biggest org, and he goes on later, like, every pub player, especially pub players, recognize DBD League as the biggest org, like, the only thing that matters, the only thing they know about is DBD League. So when the leading, like, community manager tweets stuff, I genuinely do believe they need to be a bit more calm in their takes and stuff. Like, I'm not saying Roxanne shouldn't have her takes, I'm just saying, like she should have these opinions, but I don't know if tweeting them as the community manager is, you know, the play for the comp scene. That's all. It's like imagine like a DBD developer, like one of the major DBD devs, like, posted a bunch of controversial shit, you know, like that's not gonna be good for behavior. They're gonna lose some players.
I don't necessarily disagree with this tweet. Do I think Roxana should be tweeting it? No, but, like, who cares? I do feel like, I don't know, Roxana should make, like, a burner account. I'm not gonna lie. And as the community manager, she should, like, stay away from this. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Like, she should just stay away from any controversy. That's the best thing to do. But I agree. She's based for this. I agree with this. Let's see what Nightlight says.
Explain it himself.
It is because of the low tier, players from low tier teams just trying to have an
manager, exactly.
Public matches. And they are bringing the sweatiest shit talking everyone. It's always the bad players from comp that talk the most.
Right.
You will never see any of us, for example, go in the pub game and, like, full on shit on someone.
I think to some degree this is true. And I think there's also a psychological reason for it. Because if you start comp as a new team, you're probably gonna get shit on. And you're probably gonna start losing. Well, guess what? You can still win in pubs.
Never.
The problem
I think he's half right.
I have with this is
I'll
that
get more
one,
about it.
you admit that lower tier comp players have yapping issues.
Of course,
that give everyone else a bad
yes, they do.
reputation. So it's still a problem that you should look to fix in the community if you're trying to grow it.
How do you want us to okay. This guy needs to offer a solution. Okay, chat. How do we fix low tier comp players just randomly egoing people? How do you fix that? Just ban them all? Just ban them all. Ban all low tier comp players. Make the scene smaller. Like what?
No, I think DBD players have an ego issue, to be honest. And I think the reason for that is mostly the matchmaking. Because if you get, like, relatively good in DBD, then you just win a ridiculous amount of games, bro.
Issues that give everyone else a bad reputation.
They do. This is 100% true. Like, It's the yo Yvonne, you got put in this video, bro. It is true that the worst comp players that never make it out of round 1 are the ones that usually are seen egoing players in pubs and getting posted on Twitter. That's what I think. I think that is the truth. Yeah. But I will say, let me say it this way. I think that every comp player has this issue. Not just the low tier comp. I think that every comp player has this issue. But the good comp players do not usually get beaten in comp or in pubs, right? So they don't get posted on Twitter because a good comp player is not going to get beat by Jimmy 269 playing after a long day of work. The low tier comp players might get shit on, you know, because maybe they're not too good at the game. And therefore, they're more likely to get posted on Twitter because their ego gets hurt. I'll admit, yeah, if I get shit on by some player, right, my ego is hurt, right, by some random pub player. And usually I won't say anything, right? Like I control myself, but my ego does get hurt by that. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's every comp player. I think that's any player, bro. Everyone has confidence in themselves, at least a little bit. But I will say that I think this goes for any game. Like, I think that every single person has their ego. Like, bro, you could show any game where someone gets destroyed and they'll ego. Like, dude, you could see this in any Valorant lobby, right? Like, any Val game, you see the all chat, bro. It's just people egoing each other. It's just how games are. I don't know why this is such a horrible thing, bro. This has always been endgame chat. This is not just comp players. This is not just comp players, all right? Like, it's every player is like this. It's every player. It's just low tier comp players, right? They have a big overinflated ego, and they think they're the shit because they played in Tofu scrims, right? They think they're the shit. So when they get shit on by some random pub warlord, they're like, well, I actually play in comp, so I'm better than you. And they think that because they have such a big ego of themselves, such a high vantage point of themselves. Everyone has a high vantage point of themselves, but it's these players that have a high vantage point of themselves, but their skill is actually here. So they don't actually deserve to have their ego be up here.
The other part of this is that only like 2 to 3 teams win consistently, and
Okay, no. Not, when Nightlight says low tier, bro, like, he doesn't mean, like, fucking Oh-Boy, bro. Just because Oh-Boy's below them on the ladder, he doesn't mean Oh-Boy's a low-level team, bro. He like, bro, this guy, like, twists what Nightlight means by low tier.
Nightlight is on one of them, so to him, anyone...
Like, bro, Sinner, like, Nightlight is not saying Sinners is low tier, Calamity's low, like, dude, Nightlight is not saying these teams are low tier. Nightlight means the kids in, like, the fucking 30s, bro. Like, 30s and below.
under him, which is like 99% of the comp community, is probably a yapper. But 2, he implies that top players would never get ego from pubs like these lower tier players do.
This guy is gonna, like, point out something that's not ego, but what I'm gonna say before this happens, though, like, before the rest of the video, is there is a major difference between yapping on stream for content and off stream. These low-level comp players go off stream, like, they're not streaming, they're not getting content, not getting viewers, not getting money, not getting clout, not nothing. They're using their own time out of their day to go play pubs, snipe, and go against content creators or just random pub players in general and ruin their day. That is no, like these high level players are normally on stream if they're going to play pubs and going to, like, stomp or doing a challenge or something. Low level comp players do it off stream, no content, just to be jerks, bro. There's a big difference.
It's just wrong. I mean, that's just like, I don't know, like that's wild. I'll be honest. This is absolutely wild. What he's saying is wild. I'm sorry.
3 teams win consistently, and Nightlight is on one of them. So to him, anyone under him...
No,
like,
that's just wild. That's just wrong. Like, I don't know. That's just a pure assumption and wrong. Like, I don't understand. I don't know how you even... Like, that's grasping for straws. Like, it really is.
99%. Okay, let's take a look at Team Eternal, which Nightlight plays for, doing a 4-man escape streak in public games. Now, they played this really fair. No
4-man escape streak. You shouldn't get past 5, bro. So, I mean, like...
repeated perks and trying to get all 4 players out with some amazing games. But in came an ultra meta nurse to stomp on them, and you can hear how upset
Ultra meta nurse to stomp on them. Bro. They have to play for a 4 out. They're doing a 4-man escape streak. They have to play for a 4 out. Like, what do you want them to do?
makes him, presumably because it's someone egoing in pubs.
I mean, it's not presumably, It is. It is somebody egoing in pubs.
I'm playing as Eternal. Oh my god. King morons, bro. Guys, I'll get ego from pubs because I can make it.
Why is Gale tilting?
I 4K the Eternal lost my Downus. Look at me.
All right, fair enough. I mean, a meta nurse stomps like 99.
Like, bro, look at that build, bro. Look at that build. Look, bro, these kids have like fucking flashbang on, bro. Look at the nurse, bro. The
99%
hunch. Hope.
of public lobbies. So,
Yeah.
like MomoSeventh, they challenge the nurse to a DBD League rule set match, where the nurse still gets a respectable 2K
Nah, bro, this part pisses me off.
with 9 hook
Res-
stages against the best team
respect
in
for. Oh my god, I can't like talk. Respectable 2K9. Bitch, this is CTDBD League. You should be 4K1. 4K1 or your ass, buddy.
DBD history.
Your
after
ass.
which Nightlight deleted the VOD, which is always
Okay,
a
this
funny
is
move.
cringe. This is cringe. If Nightlight actually deleted the VOD, this is cringe though. That like. It was Groaning 2. Groaning 2 is just a 4K. Groaning 1 is the bad map. Groaning 1 is like shit. Groaning 1 is awful. Like that map's a 5 stage, bro. Don't put him on Groaning 1. Wispy, you're not V1. Virtual's on his vacation, so we're taking over, bro. No way, Groaning 2 is 4K? Okay, maybe it is embarrassing, chat. I thought it was CT. And to be fair, it is same ping. Okay, we might be onto something. Maybe this was a bit embarrassing, Nightlight. And he deleted the VOD? If he deleted the VOD, it is quite cringe. I can't lie.
See, what this guy is missing is that like Nightlight. Okay, bro. Even Nightlight knows that if a nurse wants to snipe his streak and end it, they can. It's a 4-man out streak, bro. It's a 4-man out streak. 4-man out streak. Of course you can dude, of course you can fucking end a streak. That's a 4-man out streak. That's why it's cringe. That is why it's cringe. Like, bro, we get it. Of course you can. Let the content creator do his content. Yeah, and he's also like clipping through it. Like, I don't know. I disagree with this part of it.
I 4K the Eternal lost my Downus. Look at me.
All right, fair enough.
Exactly. No, that's so true. That's so true. That's so true. That's so true. Killawhale stock went down with the comp hate. I usually like his content. No, I like this. I like this content. He made a good video. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on it. It's a good video.
I mean, a meta nurse
But I just disagree with some things. Agree with some other things as well. Just, you know, back and forth. I guess his point is that like Nightlight finds it cringe and like he's challenging him to like a scrim. He finds it cringe. But the reason that Nightlight is challenging him to a scrim is because it's like, okay, nice. You ended my streak. Like, let's see how you do in a balanced rule set. You know?
I've watched a good amount of comp players play public games now, and the general feeling I get is that a lot of them are terrified to lose to a random pub player, which if they really believe DBD
Hello,
was just
Jackson.
a big
What's good, bro?
RNG fest, they wouldn't even care about. Even in solo queue, where everyone knows you can lose to things completely out of your control, he gets mad.
Like what is this point here? Okay, I'm sorry, but what is this point? That comp players have egos? Yeah, comp players have egos. What the fuck? It's a competitive, bro. Why would a player who is not like top level in a game they play not have an ego? Of course, it's only human. Like I don't get the point here. Like is it to attack people for being human? This goes for any hobby, any game. Like, of course. Explain what his point was at the start. What is his point?
Mad at pub players egoing, nodding at the killer right here, but when the killer nods
Satisfaction
back,
have that recorded.
Bro, this guy just aimed into the fucking ground.
Disproving Nightlight point. Oh, disproving Nightlight point. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he is.
Well, like, you have a guy.
Okay, see, this is what you don't understand. This is on stream. Would you want Nightlight just to be like this, guys? I got shot. No he just not talk to the mic. Nightlight runs the shack. Oh, you wanna teabag and you wanna hump me and shake your head? Okay. Like bro, he's on stream. Let the guy like make some content, like react. Like bro.
Why do you have an ego?
Like, do you just want this guy to be quiet?
Unlucky. Why is he nodding, bro? He is literally the worst fucking slinger player of all time. I'm playing with 3 fucking monkeys.
See, like, this is funny. This
So
is
yeah,
funny. I'm
I'm
playing with 3 fucking monkeys, bro. Like,
It's natural. How are you gonna get mad? How are you gonna hold someone accountable for getting annoyed at BM when they're outplaying the person? You know, it's just trash talking about. It's a game, bro. It's a game. It's just annoying. Like why is this even a problem? See, this is what I'm not understanding. You know, I just feel like comp players are held to a higher standard than the rest of the community when every single person gets annoyed sometimes. The only person I've literally not once seen get annoyed at something like this is like Tofu. I don't think I've ever seen Tofu like get like pissy in endgame chat. That's the only person I've never seen do that. But Tofu is like such a chill guy. Like, I don't think anyone can match his level of chill. That's just my opinion. It's not possible. And then if you BM, you shouldn't be upset whenever anyone else does it too. That's fair. Yeah, Nightlight BM'd at the start, so maybe that's fair. But at the same time, like, bro, like, are you expecting him not to be human? I guess that's a streamer issue as well. Like, I see sometimes people getting mad at me, or not mad at me, but like surprised when I respond in endgame chat, like with shit talk back. They're like, whoa, Momo, like, shouldn't you not be responding to this person? Why? I'm gonna let this say what I want to, bro. I'm a human being. You know, I'm not just some child-friendly streamer. I mean, like, look, he's like kind of like laughing. Like, this is for content. I think that's what he's also not realizing. Like Nightlight is also doing, like, you could see he's smiling, bro. Like, this is not that serious.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy the idea that it's only the lower tier comp players and pub players who
No,
have
it's
an
just
ego. Back when the
part of
infamous
streaming,
3-gen
bro.
Skull Merchant match happened,
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna say this from a vantage point of someone that's been streaming for 3 years. I react to things a lot more on stream than I do off stream, right? Like, it's not even conscious. It just happens. Like, I feel like that's just part of. I mean, I sound like such a cringe lord, but I don't care. Like, I just feel like it's something like you develop as like a streamer skill. Like, you just do it intuitively. Like, you react more. Clip farming, exactly. Like, it's just it's content, you know. Like, you react naturally more. You're creating entertainment. So I feel like that's also what Whale is failing to realize.
back when the infamous 3-gen Skull Merchant match happened, you could tell Nightlight was taking
I don't know if egoing is good content, you know? I mean, I don't think that's egoing, though. He's playing solo queue, and the slinger's shaking his head at him. And shit. Nightlight's just trying to, like...
much more seriously than the troll merchant players
I don't know
CM9
what to talk
was,
about.
even after they won. I mean, the dude backed out of his bet to go bald if X9 won the latest big tournament.
True, bro, true. Pussy shit, bro.
That's pure frontrunner ego right there.
Front
And
runner
that's the
ego.
funniest thing about both Momo
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Nightlight does have an ego. He does have an ego, but Nightlight deserves his ego. Because he is a good player. But he does have a pretty big one.
and Eternals,
But
pub
so do
game
I.
losses. The dude backed out of his bet to go bald.
Yeah, that's
if
what's funny.
X9 won the latest big tournament.
I mean, this
That's
was
pure
funny. This
front-runner
was
ego right
funny, bro. Like, everyone was laughing about this. Like, see, this is what I don't like. Like, he doesn't understand the full context because he's not in the community. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, I don't want to disrespect Whale because he put together a very good video and he clearly did good research. But like, bro, this is like everyone was laughing about this. All right, I'm a pussy. I can't go bald, man. I'm too young. Like it's not like he's trying to be a funny guy, bro. Like, it's all part of a joke. Like, Nightlight is in Wispy's chat like 95% of the time. I go in there now, bro. Like, everyone's just friends. At the end of the day, it's just like banter. It's comp banter. It's normal.
Pub game losses.
I don't know. To be honest, I think that's friendly banter. I just disagree. I'm to be honest. I don't know how you see it, but like, this is just hype up for like the event. I don't think that's as bad as he makes it out to be. Like, that's just what grassroots esports is about. Bro, I've seen the wildest shit in Smash. I don't know, that's the only other thing that I watched where people are like literally no orc and it's like grassroots. And in Smash, you had like the wildest characters. I think, I don't know, DBD is honestly pretty tame because there are no organizations to tell people, like, to media train people, right? Yeah, well, I think a little bit of trash talk goes a long way and is part of the hype up. That's just how I see it.
They were both from other comp players stream sniping them.
Okay,
So
yeah, okay. Exactly, it's from other comp players. So why earlier did he mention comp players going against pub players and asking to scrim in 1v1? Because that's not what happened.
literally is just comp players egoing each other in pubs over nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why casual players don't think too highly of the competitive scene. Okay, but enough pseudo.
Why is Nightlight getting roasted so much? Okay, remember how earlier I was saying how, like, Roxana's, like, the DBD League, like, community manager, like, you know, on Twitter, maybe be a little bit more tame? Nightlight is the biggest comp content creator. He's going to get the most, like, he's going to be viewed the most. Nightlight controls what people think of the comp scene more than anybody. Because he is the comp scene. Like, he represents it because he has the most views as a comp player.
I really like this video, and it's a good video. But why is this guy riding Nightlight's cock? I just have to ask that really fast. Like, I swear this guy is only going after Nightlight. Like, I don't know what Nightlight did to deserve this out of any comp player, but bro is getting attacked. Like he is doing yeah, like why? Like what did Nightlight do? Like this is crazy.
Psychoanalysis on the comp player ego. Let's talk about another reason a lot of people don't like Comp DBD. They worry that comp players' very optimal gameplay tactics, that is, tunneling, camping, and taking every advantage, are spreading to public matches as comp gets more popular.
That's true. That is true. People have definitely started tunneling more in pubs.
Someone watches a
over the
tournament
years.
and notices how every killer immediately goes for the tunnel out as fast as possible. Is it not a reasonable expectation that they might take this energy to public games that they want?
I mean, if pub players want to, they can. I don't see the problem in that. How will if the pub players don't want to spend their time in customs getting better, but the killers want to learn how to get better, so they watch comp and they implement that into their own gameplay. You can't blame the killer player.
Want to win in?
Blame the servers for not getting better.
All right, funny thing is, that is not the most optimal strategy, I think. Especially now with DS, there's so many anti-tunnel pucks. If you actually try to tunnel someone out, I don't think you're gonna win. Like, the only reason this works, as well as does in comp, is because the parks are heavily restricted.
Comp keeps growing like it is, more and more players will play like this in public lobbies.
They will get shit on. That's the difference. That's the difference between comp and pubs. You can try the same thing, you're gonna get shit on because there are no restrictions. And you're gonna eat the DS, you're gonna eat the death hard. Maybe on high tier killers, yeah, but on low tiers, no.
It's growing like it is. More and more players will play like this in public lobbies.
That's fine.
And
That's
like
fine.
I said earlier, it's pretty clear that the public player base is just not prepared for this type of gameplay. You can
Yeah, they're not prepared because they don't want to improve.
it out for yourself.
Instead, they would rather cope.
But here, I actually kind of take the side of the competitive players.
Okay, kill W killer wow, bro. W.
Their fault for optimizing the game that they were given. Tunneling has been the best strategy for 8 years and counting. If people do it in public games, that's a developer problem for incentivizing it, not the competitive players. I tend to agree that a lot of players have an idea of what DBD should be that doesn't match up at all with what it is. And here, comp players have done a much better job of accepting what it is, at least its core design.
Yeah.
Does that go as far as having filters for every map in the game to
bro.
give yourself every possible advantage? No.
This isn't an advantage. I could play no reshade right now and do the same in chase as I can without it. You don't need, like, it just makes the game look better, bro. That's all it does.
I still think they're huge nerds for that.
That's all the reshade does, bro.
I still think they're huge nerds for that.
I mean, to be honest, I think DVD's like color scheme is just awful. I'll be honest. I think it looks awful.
You can literally tell Nightlight's reshade like that he's using as an example is like pure brightness. It's not it's not more gray. It's like it's more green. It's not more gray. Like look at this shit. It gets greener, not grayer.
Does that go as far as
Look.
having
Okay, so this is default.
filters for every map in the game to give yourself every possible advantage?
Dude, it doesn't go gray and red like it's just
no,
brightness.
I still think they're huge nerds
It's
for
just
that.
brightness.
Now this links
bro.
up to the final bit of why Nightlight thinks people don't like comp, so let's recap a bit. He says that low tier comp players both have an ego and run around stomping pubs.
I still agree with that. And he literally showed examples of low tier comp players sniping. Like, he literally showed it, though. He literally showed it. The guy sniped Eternal Streak. Like, I don't know, like, it's not...
Stomping pubs. We both agree on that. This implies that high tier comp players don't have
No, it doesn't. It does not. That's where I disagree. I don't think it does.
an ego in pubs, on which I disagree. But
Oh,
finally,
same.
he says that on which I disagree.
That's completely true. This X, no. Check mark that shit, bro. Give it a little check. Because high tier comp players, they don't ego in pubs. They only ego other low end comp players that are sniping them when they're streaming or when they randomly face each other. They don't. Low tier comp players ego off stream stopping public matches. High tier comp players ego other comp players in pubs. They don't ego other pub players. Like, this is like completely different, bro. Completely different.
But finally, he says that top comp players themselves are being accused of stomping pub games like this.
I mean, this isn't true. I mean, some players run meta builds that are comp players. I mean, this isn't true.
which will always be vehemently
But this is like, I don't know.
denied by them.
You will never see
So there's a difference between. Okay, I think you need to differentiate between doing things for content and not.
you will never see any of us, for example.
You don't crutch on like BNPs and syringes and shit, but like you can play a 4-man Swift. Like I've Swift with Cynic before, and like we've all had like DS or something, bro. Obviously we don't all have FTP buckle up DS8. Like we don't all have like some crazy build, but we all do have like quite a few good perks. It's not like we're bringing 4 BNPs or 4 syringes though, so it kind of just depends on like what you mean by like OP shit and stuff.
On the shit on someone.
Okay, there's I'll say in a bit. I don't want to keep pausing.
Pubs every once in a while, so let's take a look. Here's Nightlight obliterating 34 public lobbies with one of the best builds there
I'm
is.
gonna say it now. I'm gonna say it now, actually. What the fuck else are we supposed to do? Like, I'm talking like me and Nightlight, other whatever content creators, comp content creators. What are we supposed to do? There's not always scrims available. There's not always tourneys happening. What is there to do in this game other than mindlessly play pubs? The whole reason why people do streaks is to make some sort of artificial stakes when there isn't any stakes. That's why. So, like, okay, Nightlight's point here.
Shit on someone. Any of us, for example, go in the pub game and like full on shit on someone.
He is not being a hypocrite by saying that. I don't care what anyone's saying. He's not being a hypocrite by saying that. Nightlight is not going to pubs with Painres, Pop, fucking Corrupt, Grim and Braze just for the sake of shitting on other players. He's doing it for content, right? He brings strong shit for a win streak. Same thing with me. I'm not about to go in my fucking, like, I'm not about to go in my free time, hop on my account, hop on Blight, put double Eerie on, like force load. I'm not doing that, right? The whole point of it is content. It's not just for whatever, like for fun, you know?
Ego. Here's V1 crushing 44 lobbies in a row with a quad slowdown Wraith build.
Content. It's all content. Like, that's what they're not realizing. This is all for content. And we said how? What's wrong with that?
He's even blocking it, bro. He's like, this is where I'm like, okay, what are you doing? At this point, it's like kind of getting misinfo. What Virtual is doing here is a 4K3 streak, and he actually managed to win on 4K3 with 40 plus games in a row, which I find ridiculous on Wave. That was an insane achievement and made me realize how strong you can possibly get on Wraith. And I think doing these kind of things is not, I don't think that's wrong, no. I think you can play the best lords if you want. Like, if you just do that to destroy people, then
One of
then
the
it's
top
different.
teams, Elysium,
It's one, to keep myself entertained and like actually have like a reason to do pubs. Do you have fun streaking? I mean, this is a hard question to answer. Like, kind of, but it's not as fun as just like tourney, for sure. Not even close. And it gets boring. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, yeah, the reason why streaking is fun, it's fun to see the numbers go up. And at least there's like some sort of like feeling like, all right, I'm accomplishing something with my time playing this game, you know?
top teams, Elysium, played a bunch of pubs with some of the most broken builds available. Although I admit this didn't go like they planned. Here's Xeno, consider
Wait, what are the most broken builds available? I need to see.
pubs with some of the most broken builds of
Yeah, chat, I don't know if these are the most broken builds available. I hate to break it to you. I don't think these are the most if I see 4 Adrens on a build, I don't think that these are the most broken builds available. A Champions of Light and a Breakout. Yeah, a Beam on one of the players. Yeah, I don't know if these are the most broken builds known to man. I think these are like pretty tame pub builds. They can be a lot worse than this.
Although I admit this didn't go like they planned.
Did he say why? Like,
Elysium played a bunch of pubs with some
like
of the
he's missing the reason why. Did anyone do this just for fun? Out of all these people that he brought up, yeah, it was 4-man out streak. Did any one of these
builds
people
available.
do it just for fun? Any one of these people do it just for fun? No, there's not a single person who did this just for fun. Yeah, V1 was also doing a 4K3 streak. Like, bro, I don't know. I feel like he just misses the point a lot. Sorry, this was a 0-stage streak, and he didn't even bring that up.
Didn't go like
Definitely there for fun. Okay, Marwood, it's for fun, but it's mainly for content. Like, it's not just for fun. I'm sorry, it's not just for fun. It's for content.
They planned. Here's Xeno.
I can tell you, as someone who does win streaks, that does this type of shit, like, trust me, they don't do this just for fun.
Here's Xeno, considered by many to be one of the best all-around players in competitive DBD right now, destroying a lobby with one of the best killers in the game.
Did Xeno actually do this on the snowball update, bro? Was he actually just harassing people?
Beating everyone out.
Like, I don't know if this is out of context or not. I don't know.
Snowballs at them on day 1 of the winter event. Is it their right to do this?
Okay, that was
Sure.
that was pretty cringe. I told him that too, and I left the chat. I know you don't need to do that, but it's
guess
like I don't know. There are no rules in pubs. You can do whatever you want.
While a chat filled with the comp community cheers him on across
Yes.
multiple games. These players are
Nah,
all
he just-
indisputably top comp players. Is it their right to do this? Sure, I guess. It's all within the confines of the game.
I don't know,
Should they
for
keep playing-
FTP Buckle Up is tame. I mean, it's pretty... It depends on which killer you're playing. Most killers, FTP Buckle Up isn't a problem on. It kind of just depends. It depends what killer you're playing.
I mean, they never do this?
Bitch! Bitch! Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch! Cry!
Probably not.
Also, if
Again,
somebody's following the chase the entire time of FTP Buckle Up, that means only 2 people are on gens. And once FTP Buckle Up, if you're good at killer, you can just down them again, because they're probably not in, like, somewhat of a dead zone if they were to use all the pallets, because that's why they died in the first place.
Is it their right to do this? Sure, I guess. It's all within the confines of the game. Should they keep claiming they never do this?
Bitch!
What? So the problem is he's playing pubs and he's excited that he's outing this plague? Like who has not had a reaction like this? Who has not had a reaction like that? Let's like not all excited. No fun allowed? Like, yeah, sorry. As a comp player, alright, when you play pubs, no shit talking endgame chat. Even if they cuss out your entire family, even if they go after you as a person, if you respond, not allowed. Also, you know, no having fun in pubs, no shit talking the other player, no commenting on their skill. What else is there? You know, like, it's not allowed, bro. It's not allowed. It's crazy, bro. Like, what is wrong with this clip?
Bitch!
He's excited. He's excited. What's wrong with this clip? You missed it. Okay, what is this point, Marwood? Sorry, what is this point, bro? What? Okay, his point was that people, that comp players bring shit and they stop pubs. Adren, Resi, background, flashbang. What's the problem? He's solo queuing. What's the problem with this? What is the point? Go back. Okay, we'll go back 15 seconds.
Cheers him on across multiple games. These players are all indisputably top comp players. Is it their right to do this? Sure, I guess. It's all within the confines of the game. Should they keep claiming they never do this?
Bitch! Bitch! Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch! Cry!
Probably not. Again, comp players get very defensive at the prospect of losing.
See, the difference is Marwood is it's content. Like he's not doing this. Nightlight is not doing this off stream, bro. Nightlight is not doing this off stream. That's what you're missing here. There's it off stream too. When does he do it? What do you mean? What are you talking about? When does Nightlight play pubs off stream? Skirms Skirms is on stream. Skirms is on stream. He did it with Skirms for exposure to himself and to grow. Skirms is still on stream, guys. Skirms is still on stream. Kale wasn't live, doesn't matter. Bro, dude, streaming with Skirms is literally a one-way ticket to increasing your fan base by a lot. That is still content for him. And like, his point is that comp players don't bring the strongest shit and try their hardest in pubs. What is wrong with this? He's solo queuing. He's showing this clip as like as like some sort of hypocritical reaction. How? He's just excited he's outing this plague when he should have definitely been dead. You see this?
Within the confines of the
That's all. Like, how is this a bad thing? How does this go against anything he said? Like, what? What about this is hypocritical?
players get very defensive at the prospect of losing in pubs and will often accuse anyone who beats them or even wins a chase against them of egoing in an unbalanced game or crutching on broken mechanics. And I'll throw them a bone. They're technically correct that they would win in a pure skill game, but to everyone looking in from the outside, this just reeks of insecurity. The public relations from the players on social media aren't much better. Ultimately, they are allowed
Of
to
course,
say whatever they
of
want.
course. No, okay. I keep repeating myself. Sure, you're right. Dude, I would be that guy. Like, let me be like the social media manager. But I can't do that. This is unregulated. These are unregulated 18-year-olds. Obviously, they're going to say dumb shit sometimes. Like, obviously they will. The thing, though, is that this gets hardcore elevated. And if someone says something dumb, then everyone, like just goes on it.
Ultimately, they are allowed to say whatever they want.
I mean, this. How do I feel about this? I think as a comp community, we are held to higher standards than people want to give us. Like, for example, I don't know. I feel like Valorant is like an easy game to compare this to. In Valorant, you don't have high-end comp players or like any like tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 pros saying anything like this on Twitter because, well, I mean, this is even that bad. Like, isn't completely that bad, but they get worse. They get the virtual one is terrible, bro. The virtual one is not something you should post on Twitter. But anyway,
Someone who works in marketing, it does hurt a bit to see them consistently make.
the thing is that in other games, you have a reason to not voice your opinions on Twitter because you are signed by an organization. You will, like, how do I explain it, bro? Like, you have to be tame. You are forced to not say anything. You are you cannot do, like, if you wanted to do this, you lose your entire career in, like, the Valorant scene, bro. Like, you can't say this shit. You can't. But in DBD, you're not signed to an org. You're not, you don't need to have, like, PR issues. You don't, like, or like, I don't know. It's like DBD comp players are held to the standard of like a Valorant comp player, like a pro player, and they need to like be like these super tame people that are like very high end, respectable people, but like they don't the DBD players don't get that, like the DBD comp players, they don't get that respect. So why should they act like they do? Like, I don't know. I'm explaining this badly, but.
So this year, I regret saying this, and I realized like what I said was wrong. Like, people are allowed to react to things however they want to. Just because my experience is different doesn't mean theirs isn't. I still think that I should not have to avoid a commonly used form of BM, which is humping someone on the ground, in order to prevent someone from getting triggered. Like, that's not my responsibility. That's like saying like, oh, this guy teabagged me, like this triggered me, they should never do it. You know, that to me is stupid. But I do agree this was like an insensitive comment to make. I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. It was not right. That's it. I own up to my mistakes, man. Like, look at this, right? I should have never tweeted this. Especially on Twitter. Like, I'm an actual moron. Why would I ever tweet this, bro? I'm an actual idiot. There was just no reason to. You know? So, like, people make mistakes. What I don't like is that it feels like people hold this shit against you for the rest of your life on Twitter. Like Scott Jund, for example, he got like 10 years ago he said the N-word on Twitter, and now people are bringing up those screenshots. Like what do you want to do? He's apologized. Clearly he's changed. What do you want to do? Publicly hang him? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, what do these people want at the end of the day? You know?
They are allowed that people will obviously associate with comp.
Cloud9 signing X9. Okay,
Fair
bro.
or not. Watch any DBD League live stream or comp player chat, and people will make the same jokes over and over about
It's like a cycle, though. It's like a cycle.
skill, tunneling,
Like, the
camping,
pub players
etc.
want
All
comp
of which
players to
boil
be
down
like
to,
Valorant
this is what the
pro
average
players, where
person
like they're
would say
super
watching
humble,
this. Isn't that so funny?
super
Turn on
respectable.
any comp player's stream
But
for 5 minutes. I
when
guarantee you will
but
see
the
jokes
comp
in the
players
chat.
that are respectable, they don't get the respect they deserve already from the pub players. So it's like a cycle. It's like
About
one
two
side wants comp players to be respectful, and then the comp players don't get that respect even when they are, so then they don't be respectful, and then it's like a cycle.
Watch any DBD League live stream or comp player chat, and people will make the same jokes over and over
That's
about
true.
no skill, tunneling,
That's true.
camping,
That's
etc.
true.
All of which boil down to this is what the average person would say watching this.
No, bro, you don't understand. Holy shit. When DBD League first blew up, it was unbearable. It was absolutely unbearable because everyone said that. And it's like the comp players just made a meme out of it. It's like, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like you have the same argument over and over again. Like you can't take it seriously anymore.
who they consider high ego pub players for
I
lacking
mean,
the better talent.
Zev89 is a high ego pub player. That is undebatable. That Zev89 is
Is the
high
comp player's
ego.
version of Nerf Pig to be spammed at any moment for maximum hilarious impact. You can look at this two ways. One
Hilarious
is that it's good to
impact is
gatekeep
crazy.
and keep your community only full of people who take the time to actually understand it. Or two, that it's maybe better to be
I don't
friendly
think so.
and helpful to newcomers who justify the version of Nerf.
All right.
One is that it's good.
I think Comp DBD has a massive, massive accessibility issue because you need players to play with to have a chance. You can't just like go in, right? Like you kind of need players or like friends or whatever to start joining tournaments. Even if you do that, you're gonna get hard shit on, and most people just get hard shit on and they quit again. Like there are very few who are actually willing to get into this. That's because there's no like rank queue, there's nothing. There's no matchmaking to prepare you for this. Nothing will prepare you for comp besides like just like playing it, right?
Or two, that it's maybe better to be friendly and helpful to newcomers who justifiably don't see why someone would want to watch what looks like just camping, tunneling, and pre-dropping pallets. Honestly,
This guy says he watches comp, but I don't believe he does because all he mentions is camping and pre-dropping pallets. The only thing that actually happens is the tunneling part.
I understand both, because you don't owe rude first-time chatters anything, but I do wish that at the very least tournament staff wouldn't actively encourage it and just ban them instead. If anything, recent videos and tournaments from big creators should prove that there is a ton of potential interest
Yeah, there is a potential.
if comp is explained well enough to cynical first-time viewers. And let's be real, even comp enjoyers can admit that a lot of different parts of it are pretty boring.
No, I don't think so. Maybe other comp players disagree with me. I mean, maybe that's true, but I don't think anything's boring. I have fun in every part of the game. This is the most... Okay, the most boring part is indoors because of the fucking hatch, bro. Like, tourneys need to fix the scoring system for hatch and bleed outs. Like, just remove the fucking... Like stop making it, like, affect the tiebreaker of the set. Make it do nothing, please. Please.
But just like the killers and survivors in DBD,
Yeah, every part of comp besides the bleed out on indoor maps is fun. Like that's
hate from
that's
pub
the
players
only
makes
boring
comp
part
players
in the entire game.
offensive, which makes them hate on pub players, which makes pub players hate them, and the cycle continues.
Yeah, I mean this is basically exactly what I was saying for the respect part about how they want comp players to be tame on Twitter, but then they don't get their respects. And I mean, yeah, this is basically
Of
exactly
course,
what I
there
was
are
saying.
plenty of down-to-earth comp players who don't do all the stuff I just described, and you don't see their annoying posts because they aren't making them. Zaka and Dan from Team Eternal, the same team with Nightlight earlier, are very chill even in pubs. Laser, Ivan, Pedro, and Xyz are some more great players that don't cause
Damn, I wouldn't take that disrespect. I wouldn't take that disrespect personally, bro. Like Xy's check spot video. Wait, did you guys watch the recent Xy's check spot video? That shit was crazy.
trouble as far as I'm aware. Multiple comp players don't play pubs at all, just
As far as I'm aware. Okay, Xyz doesn't cause trouble, but how are you gonna say bro doesn't cause trouble if you don't even know how to pronounce his damn name?
1v1 ladder and scrims, although apparently the 1v1 ladder has its own whole drama, beef.
Oh, the 1v1 ladder does have its own drama and beef. It does. But 1v1 players have more ego than 4v1 players. 100%. Unwarranted ego. But people in 1v1s are only good at one set, maybe two, like Trapper, and they think they're like the shit, bro. Now ladder has an issue for
From
sure.
Ego play it this way.
Yeah, this guy has no like this last part especially. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. Like I respect the effort he put into this, bro. This is like some fantastic editing, and I think he did a lot of research, right? Like this is so much further than most people would have gone. Like seriously, like this is good editing, but he just doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know the full extent of what he's saying, you know? Now, like me and you were the stars of this one, bro. What do you think? I mean, you were the stars. It felt like mainly you. I was like second.
I don't know. They recognize that DBD is just a game, and they don't get combative when
I mean, dude, whenever you have anything competitive, right, you will have people with ego and you will have drama, period. That is just how it works. And there are cheaters in DBD ladder. There are cheaters in pubs. There are, like, this is a thing. that really does happen. And I've personally also watched like videos from ladder to see if people are cheating, because like oftentimes it's a guessing game. We can't see the killer POV, we can only see one POV, and like you can never be sure. This is how it is. Anything when it's competitive, there's money on the line, there will be cheaters. This is how it is.
What's my opinion of competitive DBD? Well, I do watch the big
I mean, tunneling
tournaments
is no
and
problem
follow
in
a few
it.
players, so I definitely find it interesting overall. But I still think the overall scene has a lot of growing and growing up to do if they want to be respected by the majority of players. I will say that despite
Wait, let me see that
growing
again.
and growing
New gen
up
comp.
to do if they want to be respected by the majority of players. I will say that despite playing a game that doesn't really
I mean, bro, like you don't even. I see you're trying to justify it now. Like you don't have to. Like what? You're a player playing a game and you're streaming. It's for content. Like that reaction is also for content as well. Like that's what this like this like. Okay, you go pull up a Skirm stream. Skirms is saying the exact same shit. He has the exact same like reactions. Why is he not under like flame for it? People like it when you have fun, I guess. Yeah, it's so stupid. I like you don't have to justify shit, bro. I don't know like what this guy is talking about. Like I actually did agree with a lot of this guy's points. Like I was trying to be fair, right? But where he said like you could reach like maximum skill in DBD with 1k hours. That was special statement for sure. But I mean there were some other things I agree with. I forgot what they were. Just like his explanation of like why Comp DBD, like there is an elitist mentality. Like you have to admit that like there is an elitist mentality among a lot of players, right? Like I don't know, some of these tweets you could see. I could agree with that. I don't know. I'm not gonna go through all of it, but yeah, like there was shit I agreed with, but there was also a lot of shit that was just interesting, bro.
service DBD at this point, comp players are a lot better than the average player in terms of general gameplay. In my opinion, if the comp scene wants to continue to grow, I think league and tournament organizers should heavily focus on a seamless and beginner-friendly viewing experience, which so far they have been improving. And I think the top-level players should try to set a bit better example of not annoying everyone online and giving comp a bad rap, as well as condemning lower-tier players who try to do the same thing. Whether you play comp or not, or even if you've never heard of it before, I hope you felt this was a fair look at the scene and gave you some better understanding of why there's so much arguing about it. For what it's worth, all personal DMs, messages, and chats I've had with comp players were very helpful and friendly, and if you're looking to get into the community with an open mind,
Why is Haunt the guy that is on the page as being a nice guy? How does Haunt make his way into the video as the nice guy, bro? This guy finessed his way into the video, bro. Hashtag positivity.
I'm gonna be honest, like I love Haunt, but Haunt is the last person that should be seen as a wholesome comp player. That is the last person. That's the last person that should be seen as a friendly like fuck you, buddy, your ass. Like what? Like that's how you know this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Like again, I respect this guy's effort, like how much he delved into it, but you could tell he doesn't know enough about it, bro. He doesn't know Haunt well enough. He doesn't know Nightlight well enough. He doesn't know the people that sniped like me or snipe Nightlight, like you know, bro. Haunt recently has like said the N-word too in like some in-game chat. Like Haunt is not the most wholesome player, bro. Isn't Haunt black though?
They will be more than welcoming. If you're just looking to watch comp, I recommend you check out CompDBD's YouTube
Yo,
channel,
W
which
shout
features
out.
the best games,
W shout out.
tutorials, and highlights from the top players. If you're looking to actually play, V1 has a video that shows you the basics of joining that I'll link in the description, and the 1v1 ladder in the DBD League Discord has plenty of help and tutorials available to get started. I've played it a bit myself, and everyone was really friendly, including one player even playing extra rounds just to help me learn more.
Yeah, people are really friendly on the low end level of comp, ladder, because they already beat you. Like this guy already beat you, so he doesn't care. He's not gonna ego your ass if you already won.
Although they may be smug and annoying about it, I see no lies when comp players tell you that the fastest way to improve is to play 1v1s and scrims against people that will actually push you as a player. Whether this is actually worth doing for an ace.
Virtual, never in a million years could you get me to tweet this. Like, dude, I actually feel bad for my boy Virtual, bro. Bro.
Nah, this was the saddest tweet I've ever seen, bro. Poor Marvin. Nah, dude, fucking Batman cannot get this out of me, bro. I cannot believe Marvin actually thought to tweet this. He didn't say anything positive about me. He didn't say anything positive about me either. I don't think, at least. Yeah, he didn't. Only says, I mean, to be fair, who did he say anything? He didn't say anything positive about V1. He didn't say anything positive about you. He didn't say anything positive about me. Didn't say anything positive about... I mean, those were like the stars, huh? Roxana. Roxana was in there too. Top tier comp players? Well, it seems like he's not phrasing that as a good thing. Is there anything positive to say about you and Kale? No, not really if you want mud. You're right, bro. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This tweet is crazy. It's my birthday, but I won't stream and feel depressed as fuck thinking about my life. But wasting the last 2 years falling behind with uni work and losing IRL friends. Sitting on hours upon hours of clips and content with too lazy to edit any event, not streaming. Like, this is crazy, bro. I feel bad. I actually feel bad. That's just sad. Like, I should not even be laughing.
Game? That's still up for
Mr.
debate.
Marvin.
And unapologetic comp haters should be
This is
aware that
such a
comp is
fucking
growing
idiot.
rapidly on YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, as well as having behavior devs donating Eerie shards to the latest DBD League prize pool in big tournaments. After 8 years of DBD, people are looking for more ways to play, and to lose out on all the fun potential just to keep stubbornly hating seems like a waste of time to me.
Wow, look at
As
this
with
big
most
ego in
arguments,
that
both
layup.
pub players and
I think
comp players
Whale was right about him. Let's read this. I hate how he calls me a top tier comp player. For him, I'm Mr. 86, the greatest GOAT. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. This guy Nightlight, he wants to say, you know, he's like some wholesome streamer. Look at him behind the scenes, bro. He says he's the GOAT. Like, what is this big ego?
could definitely
That's
be
crazy.
more to understand
What can
the
what
other's
can I
point of
say,
view,
bro? I'm about
instead
to
of just
post this on
spamming
Twitter.
insults at each
We
other
ban
over
him? Yeah, I'm
Twitter.
about to.
But I mean, come on. That's no fun at all.
Good video. This is a good video. Like jokes aside, like it was a good video. He did a good job. It was good editing. Like I don't know. It was good at the end of the day, but I don't know.
The W video though, chat. Okay, you can't lie. Okay, well, like you can't lie that like the video editing was really well done. Like you can't like disrespect that. Like it was a really well put together video, but in my opinion, it definitely missed some context. Alright guys, time to go stomp some pubs after watching that video.
Nah, bro, the us vs them thing will never die. It will never die. This is how it works. I think it's very important to understand that there's no overlying body, there are no organizations in comp. This is all player made, and there's no way to control anything. And if you have a group of that size, there are gonna be bad sheep, and like most of the comp players know who the bad sheep are. And yeah, well, that's a very well made video. I think there were a lot of assumptions in there. I don't know. I don't like the way some things were portrayed here, and I think especially Nightlight got like the better end of the stick. Even though I think Nightlight grew a lot as a person over the last, I don't know, like since I've known him. And like I think I started watching Nightlight when I wanted to learn Nurse in like 2019, I think. So yeah, I think he grew a lot, and Eternal is an extremely professional team and probably one of the most professional teams within comp. Always a pleasure to deal with. And yeah, good video by Killawhale. I think there are a lot of takeaways, and I think especially the comp community could be a bit more aware of what they're saying and how they come across. It's true, but it's also true that everyone just lives in their own bubble. This is how it works. This is how it works. This is true for me, this is true for you, and for everyone else. Very good video. Killawhale makes fantastic content, by the way. He has some incredible videos. This one was incredibly good. Very well video. Very well video. Wow. All right, cool.